Kimberly. Tons of practice. One chop away from a black belt. 7 of the best sidekicks. And 5 years since her cancer diagnosis at Ohio Health.
Glo Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glo Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glo Fiber is here. Welcome to Glo-Hio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLO or visit glofiber.com to switch today.
As the temperatures heat up here in the Buckeye State, so does high school football. As we are in week 3 of this 2025 season, and down here at the Rock on the banks of the Ohio River, it's the Portsmouth West Senators playing host to the Hillsboro Indians in this week 3 non-league clash on Southern Ohio Sports Authority presented by Ohio Health. Carson Francis joined by Shane Combs tonight, as always. Shane, we've got 2 teams coming in. Hillsboro 2-0 for the first time in 7 years. West trying to bounce back from a loss to Portsmouth last week. We know they've both got great run games. They match up pretty well on paper. What can we expect to see tonight on the field?
Well, I think it'd be a really physical matchup, in the trenches. We joked before the game, it's kind of like a pitcher's duel. It might only take about an hour and a half to play because, both teams are going to put it on the ground and really run between the tackles and get physical. So you got to be real disciplined in your approach. You got to know your assignments. And look, this Hillsboro team, they're a group that this junior-senior class has kind of been building for this moment. Like you said, they're off to a good start, and they come in with a lot of confidence. And Portsmouth West, we know about the history of the football program. This is an incredible atmosphere down here. It's one of the real cool Friday night scenes that you'll find. And you add all that up, and we should be in for a really good matchup.
Yeah, Shane, let's talk about Hillsboro for a second, averaging 37.5 points a game and 429 yards of total offense through the first 2 weeks. And as we said, it's been all about their run game. Week 1, we had Trey Captain rushing for 214 yards and found the end zone 4 times in the win over Western Brown. Last week against Goshen, it was Colin Slackhammer who had the big night on the ground, 167 yards rushing, 2 scores. There's a lot of guys on this Hillsboro team that can make plays on the ground, and it's really shown why it's the DNA of their offense.
No question, and anytime you run it that well, there's some guys up front doing a real nice job with Hardy and Lowe and Shelton and Robbins and Pitts, and we'll say those names a lot throughout the night with them opening up holes. But you're right, the guys who carry the football, they're dynamic. Trey Captain is a home run hitter. He can take it to the house at any time. The quarterback Mason Dumpert even had a 90-plus yard run himself for a score. So you think sometimes all this team just runs. They don't have the ability to hit the home run play. That's not the case here at all. They have 2 or 3 guys on any particular snap can find a hole and go the distance.
Yeah, and this defense as well has really shown up when the team needed it most. 6 total sacks recorded by this defense in the win over Goshen last week, including 2 from Landon Jordan and Jordan Lowe on the defensive line.
Yeah, that's what really stands out to you when you look down the list statistically, defensively. Swackhammer with the 14 tackles and Aber 13, and then Pitts and Hoxtell, right up there as well. But like you said, they get to the quarterback, they get in the backfield, and that'll be important tonight, Carson, because let's face it, when you don't throw it around very much, I think we'd all agree you'd like to stay in front of the chains and stay in that real proper down and distance, right? You get in that second long, third long, it can test your play calling a little bit.
And Hillsboro will want to make sure they do get in the backfield because on the other side, Portsmouth West has a dynamic playmaker of their own, and his name is Anthony Bishop. 23 carries for 120 yards, 2 scores last week. He's a dynamic playmaker for the Senators last season as well. Ran for over 1,500 yards on the season.
Yeah, no question. He's really dynamic. I really enjoyed watching him throughout the career, and and just a junior here comes in at 5'6", 195, but he's got the dynamic skill set, a little quickness, a little speed, and again, they too up front will do a nice job with a junior senior led offensive line. Potters, Carver, Newsom, Newman, and Sparks. They do a great job, and Brody Hall with some good ball handling at the quarterback position. He can throw it a little bit. They're very, very capable in the pass game, but obviously they want to keep it on the ground and utilize Bishop and company.
They do have, as you said, Shane, some guys that can make plays in the passing game. Braden Adkins, 5 catches, 109 yards on the season. Christian Carrasco, their tight end, had a 53-yard touchdown against Fairland in Week 1. What's Hillsboro got to do defensively to make Portsmouth West throw the ball?
Well, you got to win first down. I think that's important on both sides of the ball. I think what happens when you're facing a team, field position becomes important because are you in 4-down territory? If you are, that becomes even more difficult with the ability to run the football. But you got to win field position and then win first down. If you can put teams more into a 2nd and 10, 2nd and 11, 2nd and 12, now you got a chance to get to 3rd and long and maybe force the pass game a little bit more than both coaches want to. But if you're giving up 3, 4, 5 yards on first down, what you're going to end up getting is either one of those to break for the distance or maybe even worse, you start getting those 10, 11, 12 play drives that not only result in points on that drive, but it wears you down over the course of 4 quarters.
Both teams taking the field here at The Rock as the home Portsmouth West Senators playing their 3rd straight home game to start the season. Hillsboro hitting the road for the first time this year. West a winner in Week 1 over Fairland, dropped a heartbreaker to rival Portsmouth last week, 13-12.
A lot of people have made a lot of that score, and I think a lot of that goes back to something we talked on overtime over the last couple of weeks is, you get into Week 1, you get into Week 2, and you're learning these teams. You're learning matchups, and I think some people overreacted to Portsmouth getting beat by Uniota. I think what people are finding is Uniota's a really good football team. They're going to beat a lot of teams bad. Portsmouth comes right back off of that, had the extra night to prepare because remember they opened on a Thursday, and then they come back and get a rivalry win 13-12. So I would say that hasn't been sitting real well with Portsmouth West over the last week. So I think you're gonna get their very, very best effort here tonight as the 2-0 Indians come to town.
The Senators last week held to just 162 yards on total offense. Their 2nd straight loss to Portsmouth after they won back-to-back in 2022 and 2023. As for the Hillsboro Indians in their recent meetings with the Senators, they've played 3 times since 2020. They haven't won a single one. This is Hillsboro's first time starting 2-0 in 7 years. Something's got to give tonight, Shane.
Well, I think you're giving some great stats there, and I think it all adds up to why Hillsboro would come in really, really hungry this evening. As I said in my first answer there, this junior and senior class, they've been building for this. This is something they've been waiting on. So now they come in and at 2-0. I'm sure they come in feeling like the favorite this evening. So they're going to come in with a lot of confidence. I'm sure they know the stats you just read off, and they're ready to change the narrative.
Head coach Nathan Horn, in his 4th season as the head coach of the Indians, missed the playoffs for the first time in his career as a head coach last year. After a long offseason, off to a great start. Looking to continue that tonight and go 3-0 for the first time, also since that 2018 season where they split the FAC title with the Jackson Ironmen.
When it becomes a really big game too, because as you said, 2-0, and they're gonna move on and have Williamsburg and then a team out of Dayton there that's very beatable. So they've got an awesome opportunity before they open FAC play with Jackson Miami Trace. How about that draw in League One?
Portsmouth West will receive the ball to start the night. Anthony Bishop and Braden Adkins, the 2 deep men for the Senators, and Connor Slope will boot it away from the 40-yard line for Hillsboro.
Atkins has been getting a lot of touches in the special teams when teams kick it deep. Sure. Sometimes it's just a pick your poison if you're going to kick it deep and not get it all the way to the end zone, because most teams do have some dynamic athletes back there.
Swope will boot it away. Week 3 is underway. We're going to rock from the rock. As Adkins lets it bounce, almost lost it, and they say he stepped out of bounds at the 5-yard line. And the Senators will start with their backs against the wall right out of the gate, Shane.
Great special teams play from Hillsboro right away. They pin it there, and as a return man, you're caught in a tough spot, because you'd love to let that ball go out of bounds, and that'd be worth about 30 more yards of field position. But then what happens on that live ball? If you're in a position to field it, now you're right up against there, and that's clear on the far side from us. So he must have caught a little bit of the line there, and it's going to result in some bad field position for West.
So Brody Hall and the Senators offense take the field for the first time tonight. 1st and 10 at their own 5. As they motion Adkins over from left to right. Hall takes a snap, looking. He's got a man complete right out of the gate. Pass complete for a gain of a few yards. That is Micah Barnes on the opening reception. Give him a gain of about 8 yards, 2nd down.
It's always interesting to see as you get tendencies through the first 2 weeks. Sometimes coaches like to come out and break those tendencies, and West comes right out throwing it.
Second and 3 at the 13. Hands it off to Bishop. Bishop trying to get to the outside, stiff arms, and gets chased out of bounds.
I think they got him right at the stick there. Let's see where they're going to spot that. No, he's back. He must have caught a little bit out of bounds a little earlier than I thought. So now a 3rd down opportunity deep in the territory would certainly force a punt if you could prohibit them from getting the 1st down yardage.
That'll make it 3rd and about 3 from the 13. Adkins in motion. Hall looking downfield. Got Bishop on a screen, flag down in the backfield. Bishop makes a man miss before being taken down past the marker by Trey Captain. The flag is down. We'll see what the call is. It's going to be holding against the Senators.
Yeah, costly mistake, because they had plenty of 1st down yardage and was going to be able to move out of get their backs off the goal line, and now going to back that up a little bit and probably force a pass. Now, I love the play call there, getting it to your athlete out in space.
It backs up the Senators to their own 7. We'll retry 3rd down. Senators going 4 wide. Bishop to the left of Hall. Hall drops back. He's in his own end zone. Fires down the seam for Barnes. It's incomplete. Batted away by the Indians, and that brings up 4th down. Sean Hottinger on the deflection, and the Senators will punt it away.
Yeah, great individual effort on the one-on-one coverage. I know West felt like the backhand was kind of maybe getting there a little early, but overall, because the eyes were back on the football and he was making a play on the football, I think he gets a little bit more wiggle room in that area.
Christian Carrasco to punt it away for the Senators. Trey Captain, the deep man for Hillsboro. Line drive punt, takes a bounce. Captain fields it at the 40. Captain gets to the outside. Trey Captain's got some room down the sideline, and Trey Captain houses it for the Indians. Touchdown.
Yeah, big-time effort, big-time athlete. They were trying to angle it, Carson, on the turf, and you talk about the perfect hop. It just pops right up, and Captain catches it right in stride. What, about the 39 maybe, and then just never breaks stride until he had to cut back just a little bit down inside the 5 for the score.
A short punt, and Trey Captain didn't have far to go, and a house call right away for the Indians. The extra point to make it 7-0. Connor Swope, 5 for 6 on extra points last week in the win over Goshen. Dumpert the hold, low snap, and it's bobbled. Dumpert rolling to the outside. Throw to the back of the end zone is caught. Did he get a foot down? He did. Landon Jordan High points the broken play, and the 2-point conversion is good. Indians up 8-0 early on here at the Rock.
Well, a lot of experience and a lot of talent on that play. You have your quarterback holding there. Snap comes on the short hop. He doesn't panic. He picks it up, creates a little bit of time, and then give Jordan a lot of credit. And plays the tight end position anyway. Goes up and shows some good hands, but probably even more impressive, getting the foot down in the orange, and now we're at 8-0.
The 40-yard punt return touchdown from Trey Captain, and the 2-point conversion on the connection from Dumpert to Landon Jordan gives Hillsboro an early 8-0 lead. Shane, that's one of the advantages, and I know a lot of teams are going away from this, but that's one of the advantages of having your quarterback as your holder.
Well, there's no question, and I don't know. You know, a lot of times they'll use a receiver with the good hands and so forth, but you're right. You know, with having the ability, someone who's used to rolling out and making that type of throw, that's a good point.
Swope to boot it away once again. Kick fielded just past the 5. It's Adkins. Clean field this time. He's going to bring it out. Adkins trying to get to the sideline through traffic, and he's taken down near the 30. Good return from Adkins, taken down.
Flag from the far side there. I know I didn't see the number. You had a Hillsboro player and a West player. A little bit, a good 2 to 3 seconds after the whistle, still tangled up a little bit. Let's see what they go with here. As of now, far better field position. I thought that was the key play of the game so far, was pinning them down there at the 5-yard line, and that resulted in them having the short punt to Captain.
Personal foul on the Senators' second penalty of the day for Portsmouth West, and we see early on these self-inflicted wounds coming back to bite the Senators.
I'll be honest, Carson, my eyes followed the football, and then when I looked back, you know, a lot of times it's one of those. Sometimes it's the second person gets caught, but honestly, sometimes it is the person that just maybe cheats it after the whistle just a little bit.
So Portsmouth West will start for the second time tonight at their own 21. Hall in the shotgun. He hands it off to Bishop. Bishop bounces to the outside, stopped just at the line of scrimmage before a flag is thrown. Multiple flags thrown after the play.
Makes you wonder if they got the face mask on the way down there.
That is going to be a face mask on the Indians. So free 15 yards after the minimal gain from Anthony Bishop gives Portsmouth West a new set of downs.
See if that settles West in a little bit. So far, I talked about the importance of field position. On the first possession, you start back at the 5, then the penalty there pushes you back inside the 20. Now you get the face mask. You come out with a little breathing room, and let's see if that just allows West offense to go ahead and get the normal playbook out and run their stuff.
Hall in the last game just 2 for 7, only threw for 10 yards. He's going to throw it here. He's got a man on the outside. Carrasco can't grab it with one hand. Incomplete.
Yeah, tough angle. Never really got it established there. It was a tough throw, and Swackhammer was on the coverage. That shows a little bit of his versatility on the defensive side. You'll see him involved in a lot of different things. He's the Hillsboro leading tackler coming into week 3.
8 tackles last week, 14 on the season for Colin Swackhammer, the All-Southeast District member from last season. 2nd and 10 at the 31. Hall looking downfield, fires down the sideline for Adkins. It's picked off. Zach Brown on the interception, and he's going to try and take this back. Flags down on the return. Brown gets it to the 30. Another big play from this Hillsboro defense. It's going to come back, but the Indians have the ball back.
Yeah, you can tell that there's some things on the film that West has seen and wants to attack it through the air. That time, it was there. He certainly had a yard or two on the defense. Ball was underthrown just a little bit, and And Zach Brown does a good job of getting the eyes back on the quarterback and going and playing the ball at the high point. And once we sort out the penalty, nonetheless, Hillsboro going to have the ball back.
They're saying it's a holding on from where the original play started, a holding on Portsmouth West that Hillsboro has declined. There's a personal foul on Hillsboro that will send the result of the play back, but nonetheless a turnover for the Senators gives possession back to Hillsboro for the second time tonight.
Carson Hillsboro certainly take possession, but you start doing the math on where Brown got that ball back to, and you're talking about, what would you say there, almost 40 yards of field position.
It's the first interception on the season for Zach Brown, and now Mason Dumpert leads the Hillsboro offense out for the first time tonight. Got a lot of dynamic playmakers in that backfield. We'll see how they balance the wealth tonight as a flag is down before the snap. It's going to be offsides against Portsmouth West.
Again, those unforced penalties there. Those unforced penalties, all that does is put Hillsboro in a better down and distance. So now, against this run game, you're trying to keep them from getting 5 yards on these next 3 downs. That's just a recipe that's not going to work.
Now 1st and 5 at the 39. Hochstuhl in motion. Dumpert gives it out. Trey Captain's got some speed, and he's got blockers. Flag down again in the backfield. Probably wipes away a huge gain from Trey Captain.
Right around 30 yards. Again, if they call it from that spot of the foul, you're talking about almost a 40-yard penalty again. But if you're Hillsboro, you certainly found some things in the option game you can go to. Want fans to really pay attention to how good Dumpert is with his ball handling. It's really they really carry their fakes out well, and then he handles the ball really well and distributes off the pitch or on the keeper when needed.
Trey Captain showing off the speed on the last run that has now been wiped off, and actually will back up Hillsboro a few yards behind the original line of scrimmage. I'll make it 1st and 15 from the 28. Here's the handoff. Jack Corneli up the middle. He lowers his shoulder and picks up a few yards.
Yeah, nice job. Goes right over the left side and gets about half of it back. And that's just that mix and match. You'll get some physicality from the fullback position through the tackles, and then Captain can really beat you to the edge.
Corneli, the senior, 12 carries, 53 yards, and a score last week. Hochstuhl in motion. They pitch it to Hochstuhl. Hochstuhl on the outside gets tripped up by Braden Adkins after a gain of about 3.
Yeah, interesting down and distance here. Again, that's where the penalty hurts. On the 1st and 15, it gives Portsmouth West defense a little bit more, and now they'll have a 3rd down opportunity at 3rd and 3. See if they go to Captain here.
3rd and 3 at the 41. Zach Brown out wide. Dumpert fakes the give, tries to pitch it out to Captain. It's tipped, and there's a fight for it in the backfield. Captain comes up with it. Zane Evans got his hand on the toss and knocks the ball back. And that brings up 4th down. Hillsboro sends out the punt team. Good heads-up play from Evans.
Well, I mean, you look at it so far here in the first quarter from where I sit, Carson, you've got Hillsboro special teams taking advantage early on to take the 8-0 advantage, but then Hillsboro on the penalties, Portsmouth West defense takes advantage, and now let's see if they can flip the field and get a little bit better field position than their offense has been able to work with to this point.
Landon Jordan will boot it away. Line drive kick takes a bounce, and Anthony Bishop lets it roll before he picks it up near the 20. Bishop on the far sideline taken down. Jonathan Hottinger making the tackle.
So good job by the West defense. They take advantage of the Hillsboro penalty, get off the field, get their offense back on the field here. And just about halfway through the first quarter, I think West on the offensive side has seen some things on film, and they've come out and tried to exploit it through the air. I certainly see some things that could have went in their favor. They weren't able to connect. Let's see if they get back to the run game here and try to establish a drive.
This team had over 400 yards of total offense in week 1, held to just 162 against Portsmouth last week. Senators offense trying to get its rhythm back. Here's a screen pass on the outside.
Saying the
Caught
knee was
by
down.
Corbin Miller, but his knee was down. They blow the play dead. That'll move Portsmouth West back a couple yards. It'll be 2nd down and 13.
It's already the 5th time they've put it in the air, and you said coming in, he only threw it, 7 times last week?
Only completed 2. 2nd and 13 from the 31. Hall hands it off to Bishop. Bishop gets tripped up the middle. Doesn't get much. Caden Robbins, one of the guys to stop him, and Colin Slackhammer in on the play as well.
Yeah, good job by the defensive front there for Hillsboro. Anytime you see your linebackers flying to the ball, that tells you some guys up front there with Lowe and Yoakum and company doing a good job.
No gain on that last play, 3rd and 13. Hall looking downfield. He's got Schonkweiler down the seam. It's incomplete. Broken up by Trey Captain. Portsmouth West coaching staff wants a pass interference, but they're not going to get one. And I thought it was a good recovery by Trey Captain to force 4th down.
Well, no question. Again, Portsmouth West going to take a shot downfield, and they're just trying to loosen up the defense. And we've seen a couple different secondary guys making plays on the ball here earlier. That time it was Captain, and it's going to force a 4th and long and a punt. Last time I thought he was trying to kick it away, and Captain got a really friendly hop. Let's see the strategy here in trying to keep it out of the talented return man.
Carrasco, high punt. Captain lets it take a bounce, and it takes a Hillsboro bounce. It rolls back towards midfield before being downed just past the 41.
Well, if you're
Tilton Rapp.
Oh, sorry, Carson.
Tilton Rapp down in the punt.
I was going to say, if you're West, you certainly like to see the ball bounce the other way, but maybe not so much if it's going to bounce to number 9 again.
Call it the 46-yard line. Good field position to start this drive for Hillsboro.
Yeah, it really is, and I thought they had some things last time, but remember, it was the mistakes. The discipline of staying away from the penalties to keep the down and distance in your favor. That's the key.
Swackhammer, the deep man. Captain in motion. They hand it off to Swackhammer. He's stopped up behind the line of scrimmage. A couple Senators in on that play. Austin Ramsey, the junior, was one of them.
Yeah, great penetration there. Ramsey up front, they do a great job there on the 3-man front with Pitts and Carver.
Call it no gain on the play. 2nd and 10 from the 46. Captain in motion. Dumpert fakes the give. He's going to keep it himself. Dumpert gets past midfield. Mason Dumpert picks up the 1st down. Taken down by Weston Ratcliffe, but not before it moves the chains for the Indians.
Yeah, first time that Dumpert calls his own number. Captain was out there on the pitch. The end went with Captain. Dumpert makes the good read, tucks it, gets upfield, 1st down run.
148 rushing yards, 2 scores coming into tonight for Mason Dumpert. Now 1st and 10 at the 44. Dumpert hands it off. Swackhammer gets to the outside. Nice gain by Swackhammer, close to the 1st down line.
Yeah, good physical run. Every time Hillsboro is able to get those types of runs from a Swackhammer or a Cornelia or anything, it just opens things up for Captain and Dumpert, even Dumpert that much more.
That'll move the chains for a Hillsboro 1st down. First and 10. Dumpert gives it off to Captain. Captain through traffic. Trey Captain out of a cannon. No one near him. Touchdown Indians. 36 yards.
Yeah, really, really good run. Pretty well blocked. He gets to the edge there, and then he just stays really, really patient. Carson stays in behind the block. And then once he found that final seam, he just went to another gear. And then obviously when he gets out in front, he's gone.
Second touchdown of the night for Trey Captain, one on a punt return, and his first rushing touchdown of the night, his 6th on the season. Now Connor Swope out for the extra point. Dumpert with the hold. Good snap this time. The kick is blocked and no good. Rolls out of bounds. And our score remains 14-0 after the 36-yard run from Trey Captain. 5:04 left in the first quarter. You're watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Hey, Mike Glockner here from the Glockner family of dealerships. Want to talk to you about our express service that we offer at every Glockner location. Did you know that you don't need an appointment if you need a routine service done to your vehicle? All you have to do is show up. No appointment necessary. Stop by and let us serve you at any Glockner location today.
Back here at Portsmouth West, it's the Hillsboro Indians coming out swinging here tonight. 5:04 left in the first quarter. They're up 14-0. And Trey Captain has been the story so far tonight, Shane.
No question. Shows it off on the special teams, and then obviously from the backfield on the offensive side. And Hillsboro's already had, 5 different guys carry the football. And they're just not the type of team you want to get down to, because they're going to possess the football and they're going to continue to pound it at you. This becomes, first quarter or not, this becomes a pretty important drive for the Senators.
The boot from Swope. It will bounce into the end zone for a touchback. And the Senators will start at the 20. Keegan Salem lets it bounce into the end zone.
The one thing that Hillsboro probably doesn't love in the special teams, they come in, 9-10 on the year on PAT, and they've already had a bad snap and then a block. So that's certainly something they'll need to clean up.
And for the last one, the block, that counts as a miss on Connor Swope. So obviously you're not loving that if you're wanting to pad your stats, but you'll still take a 14-0 lead. And now this defense looks to continue to impose its will on the Portsmouth West offense. 1st and 10. Hall looking downfield, outside, trying to find Bishop. It's knocked away. Corneli on the coverage. Got a hand on the ball and swats it away. 2nd down.
And again, West staying aggressive with the passing game. So again, it puts you in 2nd and 10. So now what happens if you come back and you try to run the football and you're not real successful, you're going to get more in a 3rd and passing down. The other difference is Hillsboro's had themselves into the plus territory a little bit more, or close to it, where Portsmouth West, no opportunity to make this a 4-down territory, in my opinion. So big 2nd down play here to get better down in distance.
Trips to the left side of Hall. Hall fakes the give, and he's going to keep it himself. Brody Hall's got some room. Brody Hall down the sideline, one man to beat. He slows up, hesitates, and goes out of bounds past the 30. That's the spark that the Senators needed. Brody Hall does it himself, and the Senators are attacking.
Yeah, right around 50 yards on the run, maybe 52, I believe, is where they're going to mark it there. And just great ball handling. They sell out on the running back. He pulls it back, well blocked on the right side. And once he found the hole, there's just nobody out there. And now Portsmouth West with their best opportunity of the evening so far.
Hall only 25 yards on the ground coming into tonight. That's plenty more than that. Now on 1st down, Hall rolls out to his left, trying to find a man downfield, and he's dropped. Malachi Aber comes flying into the backfield and drops Hall for a big loss.
Yeah, that's just a big, big play. You come back, you get the 50-plus yard run. You have great field position, and then you try to go with a little play fake, and Aber not having any of it, and now you're in second and forever.
Second sack of the season for Aber, the junior middle linebacker. Call it 2nd and 19 for the Senators at the 37. Hall looking downfield, going for Adkins. It's incomplete. It's a little wide for Adkins. And quickly 3rd and long.
Couldn't tell if he lost his footing out of the break there a little bit, Carson. Nonetheless, now 3rd and 19. You are probably in the 4-down territory, so you don't have to get it all here. You'd love to cut it in half and give yourself a chance here. Not really into the field goal range, so this is definitely going to be more of a 4-down situation.
3rd and 19 at the 37, trips to the right. Screen pass, it's Gunnar Schonkweiler on the outside, runs into his own blocker and gets taken down. Gain of a few yards, but not the cleanest execution on that play. Colin Swackhammer brings him down, and it's 4th down for the Senators.
Yeah, I don't hate the play call. I kind of like the idea of trying to, just get a little bit back. But again, love the way Hillsboro flies to the football, and watching Swackhammer on the defensive side, you can certainly see why he leads them in tackles. He's all over the football every time.
4th and 14, 3:20 left in the first quarter. Senators going 5 wide. Hall looking downfield, got a man down the seam. It's Bishop wide open for a Senator touchdown.
I think we have a late hit on the quarterback on the delayed blitz. They brought the pressure. It was Cornelia, and then Hall steps in, takes the hit, and delivers the strike. What a big play for West.
Anthony Bishop down the seam. Gets the Senators on the board. Penalty against Hillsboro will be enforced on the ensuing kickoff. The first receiving touchdown on the season for Anthony Bishop. The extra point attempt from Christian Carrasco splits the uprights, makes it 14-7 after a passing touchdown from Hall to Anthony Bishop. Puts the Senators on the board. You're watching Ohio High School Football and Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Glo Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glo Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glo Fiber is here. Welcome to Glo Ohio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLO or visit glofiber.com to switch today.
14-7 is your score here at Portsmouth West, as a 36-yard touchdown pass to Anthony Bishop puts the Senators on the board for the first time tonight.
Yeah, again, the delayed blitz, I couldn't tell if the penalty was more for late hit or more that they hit the quarterback high. Nonetheless, if you were Hall, you knew you were going to take that shot, and you throw a great seam route down there. By far his best throw of the night, and it results in a score that gets West right back in this thing. And now it's interesting with the penalty here. Do they try to do something creative to maybe steal another possession?
The roughing the passer penalty was enforced on the kickoff. Portsmouth West will kick off from the Hillsboro 45.
So you're obviously going to try some sort of onside kick here with this field position, I would think. This becomes really important for Hillsboro to possess the football cleanly.
Captain and Brown back deep for the Indians. We'll see if Carrasco puts it anywhere close. Pooch kick from Carrasco, fielded by Brown past the 5. He's got barely any room. Gets to the sideline and runs into a couple Senators. and gets taken down just before the 25-yard line. Zane Pitts, one of the men to bring him down.
Outstanding job by Brown there, because instead of the onside kick, they choose to go ahead and put it right down there in the corner, forcing Hillsboro to return it. That easily could have resulted in terrible field position, but he's able to be creative up the sidelines, keep the feet in bounds, and at least get out past the 20 to give him a little bit of breathing room.
The Indians will start at their own 24. Dumpert under center. Captain to the right. They give it off to Captain. And here's Trey Captain dancing through traffic, gain of about 7 yards on the carry. Taken down by Austin Ramsey and Bo Roten. Weston Ratcliffe also in on the tackle.
Carson, kicking from the 45, knowing it had to travel to at least the 35. Are you a little bit surprised they didn't try to put it on the turf there and see if they could steal possession?
I'm a little surprised, but I don't hate what they did as well.
I agree.
Given the coverage of their kickoff team, 2nd and 3. Here's the pitch out to Hochstuhl. Jevin Hochstuhl gets a first down before being taken down by Zane Pitts.
Pretty good catch there from the back. Hochstuhl, the pitch just a little bit behind. Dumpert had to get rid of it and couldn't quite get it out in front of his back. We've already seen one of those pitches go flying on the turf free. So good job by the running back there.
A 1st and 10 at the 38. Captain in motion. They hand it off. It's Hochstuhl. No, that is Jack Corneli up the chute. Gain of about 5.
See, that's what I love on first down, is when they're able to run it between the tackles for 5 yards. Now it just opens up everything. You dump her on the keeper. You get a captain to the edge. You just have to be so disciplined at each layer of your defense when you're reading those options.
2nd and 5 at the 43. Captain in motion. They give it to Hochstuhl. Hochstuhl picks up a couple yards before being dragged down. Call it 3rd and about 2.
Big play here. Let's see if they stay between the tackles and try to stay physical. Or if you're West, I think you really got to watch Dumpert on the keeper here off of the fake.
3rd and 2. They hand it off. It's Corneli. Corneli lowers his shoulder and picks up the first.
Yeah, not trying to fool anybody. Here it is, stop it. West unable to do so, move the chains. Consistently getting 4 or 5 yards in between the tackles there. You'll take that all night.
14-7, Hillsboro. About 40 seconds left in the first quarter, and the Indians have it at midfield. Dumpert gives it out to Hochstuhl. Hochstuhl bursts his speed. Hochstuhl picks up the first down and goes down after passing the line to gain.
Good physical run. Had him stopped around 4 or 5 yards into the run, and just his individual effort doubles that up and moves the chain. Let's see if they go ahead and let that run on out and flip the field to the second quarter here.
Looks like Hillsboro will let the clock run down to the end of the first quarter. And that brings us through 12 minutes of play, 14-7. Hillsboro in front as the end of the first quarter sounds. And we'll step aside. 14-7 Hillsboro Indians here at The Rock. You're watching Ohio High School Football and Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
back here at the Rock at Portsmouth West High School. Hillsboro ahead of the Senators 14-7. Carson Francis and Shane Combs back with you. Shane, Hillsboro got off to a hot start, and they got the ball back. They're looking to add to it.
Yeah, it started with great special teams play, first winning field position, and then Captain taking the short punt back to the house. Even on the miscue of the special teams, they're able to still convert it for two, and then once they go up 14-0, give West a lot of credit. They come back and Hall and Bishop hook up on a big pass play, but Hillsboro into that four-down territory again here. West defense really needs to step up.
1st and 10 for the Indians at the Portsmouth West 38. Dumper hands it off to Corneli. Corneli's got a gap, and he barrels between two defenders to pick up the first down.
Yeah, just so well blocked. He was never even really touched. You know, even in these tight formations, you know, there's a lot of bodies there, and you're trying to follow the football, but you get in there behind that left side, and Hardy and Lowe, and then the center Shelton. That's just really, really well blocked there up front, and Hillsboro knocking on the door of another score.
Weston Ratcliffe, one of the Senators, in on that tackle. 1st and 10 at the 25. Here's Hochstuhl. Hochstuhl trying to make some room, makes a man miss. Hochstuhl trying to get to the corner, makes another man miss. Jevin Hochstuhl will score.
Wow.
Touchdown, Indians. What a play by Jevin Hochstuhl. Makes not one, but two defenders miss on his way to the end zone.
That's what you love about a dynamic run game. The first 5 or 6 yards really well blocked, but then once he gets into a little bit of space, he just starts showing off at that point, right? He makes all kinds of guys miss and looks like a video game with the joystick there, and gets it to the house. And let's see if Hillsboro can clean this part up. So far on the year, good, not so good tonight.
Had a bad snap on the first extra point, and the last one blocked. Third time's the charm if you're Connor Swope. Good snap. This kick is away, and it cleanly goes through the uprights. First converted extra point of the night for Connor Swope, makes it 21-7 in favor of the Indians after the 25-yard run from Jevin Hochstuhl. We'll quickly step aside. You're watching Ohio High School Football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie & Son Trucking. Willie & Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week, presented by Willie & Son Trucking, each week at sosaohio.com.
21-7 your score from the Rock. 36 seconds into the second quarter after a 25-yard touchdown run from Jevin Hochstuhl brings the lead back up to 2 scores for the Indians.
Love the dynamic mix and match of the rushing attack of Hillsboro. We've seen Dumper the one time on the keeper. We obviously know about Captain, but we've seen the physicality from Swackhammer and Cornelian in that time. Hochstuhl did just an outstanding individual effort to get that ball in the end zone.
The second rushing touchdown on the season for the 5'9 senior. Swope to boot it away. And Adkins fields it at the 5. Braden Adkins on the return. Braden Adkins had some room, taken down just past the 30. Good return for Braden Adkins. Braylon Mays making the tackle for it. Hillsboro.
That's the difference when you kick it in the middle of the field. There's less decision to make for the return man at that point, so they catch it a little bit cleaner, a little bit more aggressive, and get it out past the 30 to get started here. Let's see if West continues to stay aggressive with the passing game. They've already put it in the air now, 10 times, and even 11th or 12th time they went back to pass. Remember, we had the 1 sack.
I was going to ask you, Shane, do you think West will try to throw it out more since they've scored through the air the last time? Hall has a screen complete out to Corbin Miller, but it gets blown up immediately. Landon Holland read that screen perfectly and takes him down for a loss.
Well, I mean, it's becoming very evident to me that they've seen something on film that in the trenches they don't like the matchup, right? Based on how they've played coming in. it looks to me like what they've tried to do is maybe throw the ball out on the edge, get guys in space, and then take their shots downfield. So far, Hillsboro's been pretty good, other than the one time they got beat, obviously, on the touchdown and the seam route.
Bishop in motion. Hall looking. He's got Adkins over the middle, complete. Adkins gets tripped up just before the line to gain. Taken down by Landon Holland and Sean Hottinger. Just before the line to gain, 3rd and 1 for the Senators.
Yeah, kind of a weird developing play. Almost looked like a middle screen. Defensive line certainly got some penetration.
3rd and 1, handoff to Bishop. Bishop gets the first down. He's barreling through traffic, making the defenders tackle him forward, and the Senators are in enemy territory.
Yeah, you always feel like that's an option that you can go back to. Now, again, I've heard a lot of football coaches say we want to come out, we want to throw it around early in the game and get the defensive linemen moving on a hot night, and then see if we can wear them down so that we can run the ball later. So it's kind of using the pass to set up the run, a little opposite than we sometimes hear.
1st and 10 at the 45. Bishop again. Bishop stiff arms a man, gets to the sideline, and he's brought down by Zach Brown after a gain of about 4. It's not the big play that we expect to see from Anthony Bishop, but you want to keep the drive moving. You'll take that if you're Portsmouth West.
Oh, absolutely. It's the first time he's really got in rhythm and getting back-to-back touches. And sometimes you come in and you see something on film you want to go, and then you just got to get back to who you are.
2nd and 6. Hall. He's got a screen in the backfield for Barnes. It's blown up. Zach Brown, big hit in the backfield, takes Barnes down for a loss. Is Hillsboro defense the 2nd time on this drive that they've read a screenplay perfectly?
Well, and it's the open field tackle. It's one thing, at the high school level, you get these athletes in space, and the one-on-one tackle becomes the fundamental thing you have to do. That time they're able to do it. They forced a 3rd and long. They are on the plus side of the field. Be interesting if they don't convert here, see what they do.
3rd and 11 from the 46. High snap. Hall rolling, looking downfield for Adkins. Wide open. Touchdown, Portsmouth West. Braden Adkins makes the catch and says, "See you later." 46-yard score.
Yeah, nice pitch and catch there. Good pass protection. Just rolls just slightly to the right, creates a little bit of a lane, and then Atkins just gets behind the defense and throws it right over the top. And here we go. All of a sudden, Hall with back-to-back possessions of the big pass play to the end zone, and we're an extra point away from getting us cut to 7.
Eli Blevins out to kick the extra point. It's a line drive kick and no good. Our score remains 21-13 after the 46-yard touchdown pass to Braden Adkins with 8:23 left till halftime. You're watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
At Chillicothe Comfort Heating and Air, your comfort is our priority year-round.
Whether it's blazing hot or freezing cold, we've got your back with fast, reliable service you can trust.
Locally owned, honest, and done right the first time.
We have financing options available for every budget, as well as 60 months, 0% interest.
Call us today and feel the difference that comfort makes.
(21-13) your score from the Rock, as the Senators answer right back on a 46-yard touchdown pass from Brody Hall to Braden Adkins. 2nd passing touchdown of the night for the Senators and for Brody Hall.
Yeah, much needed big play. Hey, a score around the area I know a lot of people are interested in. Valley leads Piketon 7-0 at the end of the first quarter.
Here's Brown on the kick return after the short kick from Carrasco, taken down at the 35.
Westfall and Circleville tied at 7.
That Valley Piketon game, a battle of undefeateds here in Southeast Ohio. Another one to keep your eye on is Wheelersburg and Jackson up at Alumni Stadium in Jackson. 2-0 versus 2-0 in that one. Our Brock Netter with the live Twitter updates there. Be sure to follow along. 1st and 10 for Hillsboro at the 35, and we got a penalty before the snap. Going to call encroachment on the Senators.
Yeah, good hard count. Looked like it got Carver to jump there over on the left side.
Jevin Hochstuhl ran it in from 25 yards out to give Hillsboro its last touchdown. Here's Trey Captain. Trey Captain gets a block, picks up the first down and more. Puts the Indians back in enemy territory after being taken down by Tilton Rapp.
Yeah, nice run from Captain over that left side, and clock's going to go under 8 minutes here. If you're Hillsboro, you'd love to eat up this clock a little bit and put it in the end zone because they'll get the ball coming out of the half, correct?
They will. This Hillsboro offense love to score 37.5 points a game through the first two. As this play's going nowhere, Corneli gets stopped in his tracks. Christian Carrasco and Tilton Rapp teaming up for the tackle.
Yeah, just an outstanding job by Rapp getting low and then not letting go. You know, wrapping up and gets a few friends there to help get him to the ground.
Tilton Rapp, 15 tackles in the Week 1 win against Fairland. Call it 2nd and 9. Here's the handoff, and the play is stopped. Flag is down.
I don't think they got the play off.
They call an illegal formation on the Indians. That'll back them up 5 and back into their own territory. Seen a lot of flags on the ground this game, and despite the score, you got to wonder if it would look any differently if these penalties were cut down just a little bit.
Well, no question for Hillsboro. I know it killed a drive earlier, and then here, it's putting you behind the sticks.
Now 2nd and 14. Dumpert keeps it himself. Dumpert's going nowhere. Tilton Rapp once again comes flying into the backfield. Drops Dumpert for a loss. On this drive specifically, Shane, we've been saying Tilton Rapp's name a lot. He's been all over the field.
Yeah, no question. I thought all 3 parts of the option were all well defended there. Nowhere to go for Dumpert. Had to just kind of eat the football and not turn it over.
3rd down and 15. This Senator home crowd making a lot of noise here at the Rock. 3rd and 15. The handoff to Captain. Captain trying to get through traffic, doesn't get very far, and dropped before the original line of scrimmage.
Probably got about 5 yards there, so it's going to be 4th and around 10. They're being right around midfield. Looks like they're going to go ahead and try to punt it away and see if they can maybe pin him back inside the 15 or so.
They'll credit Zane Evans and Austin Ramsey on the assisted tackle. Bishop back to return for Portsmouth West. Jordan boots it away. It's short. Takes a good Hillsboro bounce and rolls inside the 15, down just before the 10. Excellent punt from Landon Jordan to pin the Senators deep in their own territory.
Good special teams play, good kick, good coverage. But if you're Portsmouth West, look, you're starting to settle in defensively a little bit. It's a one-possession game now, and you've had some success. Here you do have to be a little bit careful with ball security because you're pinned back here at the 10-yard line. Last thing you want to do now that you're back in the game is make a mistake down here and give Hillsboro a chance to go back out in front 2 scores.
We've talked about this West team being so dominant in the run game, but they have done a lot of damage through the air tonight. Here's Bishop on the handoff. Bishop breaks a tackle before being taken down by Swackhammer after a gain of 5.
Yeah, great run there. He shows off 2 or 3 of his intangibles as a back. First, the patience, and then a little bit of the strength to finish the run.
Bishop, only a junior, was a very dynamic playmaker on both sides of the ball for Portsmouth West last year, alongside the now graduated Mason Parker. 2nd down and 5, trips to the right side of Brody Hall. Hall drops back, looking downfield. He's got a man on the sideline. It's Adkins, complete for a 1st down. Braden Adkins gets off his feet and hauls it in for a 1st.
The Hall to Atkins combination all of a sudden coming alive here over the last 4 throwing attempts. 3 have been his direction, and including the 46-yard touchdown.
Just 1 catch for 8 yards in the loss to Portsmouth last week for Braden Adkins. He's had a huge hand in this passing attack tonight. 1st and 10. Hall fakes the give. He's looking downfield. He's got nothing, and he just throws it away. A little bit of trickery from the West offense, and Hillsboro had it read perfectly.
Yeah, great discipline all the way around from Hillsboro. They faked the inside run. They faked the end around. Hillsboro not biting on the 2 play fakes, and Hall makes the right decision to throw it away here and live to see 2nd and 10.
Portsmouth West in their first of back-to-back matchups with FAC opponents. They'll travel to Chillicothe next week, their first road game of the season. 2nd and 10, Hall looking downfield, firing for Adkins down the seam. It's knocked away, and it's intercepted. Flag is down, but a tip drill interception by the Indians. Sean Hottinger makes the play, but I think it's going to be pass interference against the Indians.
Well, if you're Hillsboro, the part that you're upset with is how late the flag comes in, and probably comes from an official that's maybe not the primary person to make the call.
Because it makes you think if he doesn't catch the ball, they probably let that go.
Right, but then the second part, I was going to say the difference, Hillsboro's had some great passes defended. The difference there, in my opinion, is he didn't get the head back on the football, and I'm telling you, that's just what you hear from officials all the time. You like it or not, that's something they're pretty consistent with. That time it was more of a face guard with the head or the eyes away from the quarterback, and as a result, I think that's where they felt like the penalty comes in. What a big call.
The 15 yards and an automatic 1st down puts the Senators at their own 45. You know, if you're Hillsboro, too, you're glad that pass interference is not the NFL rules and it's just 15 yards rather than a spot foul. Regardless, 1st and 10 at the 44. Bo Roten in motion for the Senators. It's a handoff to Bishop. Bishop trying to navigate, and he's taken down at the line of scrimmage. Jahari Pitts, the first man to Bishop to bring him down. Landon Jordan also in on the tackle. Call it no gain on the carry from Bishop.
Again, Hillsboro's front doing a nice job not allowing the offensive line to get to that second layer, and as a result, Holland, Aber, and Swackham are just flowing freely to the football.
Second and 10, Hall looking. He's got Corbin Miller on the outside, complete, and he's wrestled down by Jevin Hochstuhl, gain of about 7 yards on the reception. Pitch and catch from Brody Hall. It's the first catch of the night that goes for positive yardage for Corbin Miller.
Well, and again, it's just soft coverage, so they've tried some things over the top, some different go routes and so forth. Here on this drive, they've had some success just running out there and sitting down and pass and catch.
Out of the I formation, it's a handoff to Bishop. Bishop gets stopped in his tracks. John Deans blows up the play. Stops Bishop at the line of scrimmage, brings up 4th down.
Yeah, Dean's coming off the defensive end spot there with a big play, and now a little bit of decision time for West. Right at midfield, 4th and kind of a long 4.
Portsmouth West keeping its offense on the field, but not before a Hillsboro timeout. Coach Nathan Horn will want to talk things over with his defense. Do you agree with the call to go for it if you're Portsmouth West?
Well, I was just going to say it's a really tough decision at this point of the game. You're at midfield here, and you have the 2:22. I think there's no harm in going ahead and lining up and seeing if you can draw something off. You know what I mean? You maybe get a penalty, get a mistake here. Yeah, as far as snapping it and going for it, yeah, it'd be a gutsy call. I would be able to live with it either way. Certainly with 2:22, you're opening up good field position for Hillsboro to come back at you and maybe double up on possessions as we talked about before, because the Indians are going to get the opening kick for the second half.
And especially with the way we've seen Hillsboro's playmakers like Captain, Dumpert, and Hochstuhl move the ball on offense, I don't know if I'd be comfortable giving them the ball at midfield with over 2 minutes left until half.
I think I agree with you, but I certainly don't have a problem lining up with a little bit of a hard count here and just seeing it. You know, even if it resulted in a delay of game, it wouldn't be that big a deal if you're going to punt anyway.
You do have all 3 timeouts as well, so burning one here wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. They line up in a regular set. Bishop lines up to the left of Hall. They're going to go for it. Hall rolling out to his left. He's going to try and keep it himself. Brody Hall breaks free. He's got the first down and more. Lowers his shoulder. Gets just past the 35-yard line. Gutsy call works out just perfectly for Portsmouth West. Brody Hall on the keeper.
You talk about effective running from the quarterback. Remember, it was Hall that had the 52-yarder earlier. That time, 4th and 5, goes 17 yards, and gutsy call pays off. Now Portsmouth West, chance to maybe go tie this thing before halftime.
Barnes, Adkins, and Schunkweiler trips to the right side. Hall flush, throwing, and it's near the ground. They'll say it's complete. Gunnar Schunkweiler on the catch. Gain of about 6. They'll mark it at the 29. Clock running, 1:37 left.
Still plenty of time. Been impressed with Hall's ability to buy time and throw it around a little bit. That was his 18th attempt of the first half.
He'd only thrown 20 in the 2 games combined before this. 2nd and 6. Hall rolling. Pass is almost intercepted. Tried to go for Gunnar Schunkweiler on the sideline, and a good read by Trey Captain. Almost had a pick.
Yeah, that was a ball that probably very fortunate that it was thrown kind of low and away because Captain had a beat on it.
Trey Captain's been just about everywhere for this Hillsboro team. Special teams, had the punt return touchdown earlier, had a rushing touchdown back in the first as well. And as we see there, making plays on defense as well. Brings up 3rd and 6. Trips to the near side. Hall looking on the outside, complete to Barnes. Micah Barnes trying to make a man miss. Breaks free of Captain before being pushed out of bounds by Slackhammer. They're going to mark him, looks like just a yard short as a man is down for Hillsboro. They'll give Portsmouth West a first down, but Jordan Lowe is down for the Indians. While he's getting checked out, we'll step aside. You're watching Ohio High School Football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
At North Fork Animal Clinic, we're more than your pet's health care. We're your neighbors. We combine top quality veterinary care with the availability you can count on, keeping tails wagging and pets thriving. And as proud supporters of youth sports in Southern Ohio, we're committed to helping our whole community grow strong. North Fork Animal Clinic, caring for pets, supporting our community.
1:03 left until halftime. Portsmouth West driving as Jordan Lowe, the injured Hillsboro Indian, comes off the field. He'll get checked out by the training staff as his Hillsboro defense looking to hold Portsmouth West out of the end zone and potentially tie this game before half.
Yeah, on that last play, big first down conversion, I felt Hillsboro was a little upset. They felt like there should have been some offensive pass interference. What they were arguing was Schunkweiler was running a clear-out route, and they felt like there was a lot of contact there in doing so.
Here's a handoff to Bishop on first down. Bishop, spin move, trying to make a man miss. Gets to the 15. Taken down by a couple of Indians.
Gain of about 6 on the play. Timeout, Senators.
Timeout, Portsmouth West. About 54.9 to go after the run by Bishop.
Great run. Hoxtell did a pretty good job of setting the edge, but again, Bishop's so elusive, just kind of cuts it back inside and slithers his way for 6 yards. And now you're getting down into that part where you also want to pay attention to field goal yardage. You know, you're at about 33 right now. So if you're able to get another 5-6 yards, I would think that would be an option if you're unable. Obviously, you're trying to get in the end zone, but if it comes down to that, I would think the field goal starts to become a factor in this as well if needed.
Scoring update elsewhere in our area. Late in the first quarter, Wheelersburg and Jackson tied up at 7. 59-yard passing touchdown ties it up for the Pirates. Back here at the Rock, it's 21-13 Hillsboro. Portsmouth West knocking on the door with 54.9 to go. Hall looking downfield for Adkins. It's through his hands and incomplete. Hall tried to thread the needle for Adkins, and he can't haul it in. It'll be third down.
Yeah, pretty well thrown ball into a tight coverage from our viewpoint here. Obviously, Hall and Atkins have had pretty good chemistry here in this second quarter. That time unable to connect for what would have been a 16-yard touchdown.
3rd and 4 at the 16, 50 seconds to go. Hall rolling to his left, looking downfield in the end zone. It's Schunkweiler, touchdown Senators. Good things come in threes. The 3rd passing touchdown of the night for Brody Hall. And this time it's Gunnar Schunkweiler, 21-19.
Yeah, rolling out to the left, and Hillsboro tries to undercut the route and just gets lost in behind there. And Schunkweiler hauls it in for 21-19, and let's see if they go ahead and chase the 2 here. Some coaches don't like to do it this early, but I would say I would if I was West.
Todd Gilliland, the head coach of the Senators, leaving the offense out there for the 2-point try. This to tie the game, and before the snap, we've got a timeout called by the Indians. There's a little fake out there. The ref didn't know which way to point. Now Hillsboro will talk things over, trying to get their formation down. But really impressed for a guy that had only thrown 20 passes combined in 2 games. Really love the way that Brody Hall has thrown the ball tonight.
Well, it didn't take long for us to figure out that at the top of the scouting report, or the top of the adjustment after losing 13-12 a week ago, that Portsmouth West has made the choice to open it up a little bit. And you know, look, give them credit, because if I look back here in the first 9 passes tonight, 6 of them fall incomplete, with 1 being an interception. So they stick with it. So after those first 9, he's obviously started to find himself a little bit more and getting it going. And give Hall a lot of credit. He's really sparked this offense and making it a little bit more explosive.
I formation for the Senators for the 2-point try. Here's Bishop. Bishop gets to the outside and crosses the goal line. And we are all tied at the Rock with 44.8 left. Anthony Bishop on the 2-point conversion knots things up at 21.
Yeah, give West a lot of credit. You fall down 14-0 early in this one, and since that time, you've really settled in and started to move the football. The defense has been able to hang in there, and back to 21 all. Hillsboro only with 44 seconds. A lot of it will depend on what happens on this kickoff, probably, to determine their strategy.
If you're watching at home, we've clarified this through the first couple weeks of our season. West scoreboard does the basketball style. 44.8 seconds, our clock reading it as 4 minutes, 48 seconds. We will give you the correct time as we finish out the half here at the Rock. 21 all, Christian Carrasco set to boot things away for the Senators. Squib kick takes a high bounce, fielded by Swackhammer just past the 30. Goes out of bounds near the 28. And you know, with Trey Captain back there, we've seen the plays he's been able to make on special teams, not the worst thing in the world, going with the squib kick for West.
Well, there's no question. And to that same point, you might think, well, Hillsboro just take a knee. When I've got some home run hitters like Captain and company, I think I'd at least run a high percentage run play, just see, maybe they break one right here into the plus territory, and then it changes your strategy.
Hillsboro has not attempted a pass tonight. Dumpert was 4 for 6 through the air for 62 yards last week against Goshen. We'll see what Nathan Horn and his offense decide to do. 43.2 left until halftime. Dumpert gives it off to Swackhammer. Swackhammer's got some open room, picks up the first. Taken down by Gunnar Schonkweiler.
That's what we're talking about right there. I mean, that's an easy 13 yards. You're going to stop the clock and move the chains. You need to be right up on it.
About 30 seconds remaining here in the half.
Taking way too long.
Taking a while to get set up. 2 receivers to the near side of Dumpert. Dumpert looking to pass for the first time tonight. Dumpert rolling out. Got Brown open in the middle, complete for a first down. 10.1 left. Hillsboro moves the chains. Let's see if they can get off one more play before the break.
Now keep in mind,
they're going to call a timeout.
They have a pretty big leg there in terms of the distance of the kicker, just watching some of the pregame stuff. Still not there yet, but I'm saying if they could get, we'll call it 15 more yards, it might be worth a shot.
Connor Swope 1 for 2 on extra points tonight. The Indians have not attempted a field goal outside of the extra points after touchdowns. If they get to a decent spot, and knowing that they have possession coming out of the half, I don't think it'd be a bad idea to maybe get a first down, get out of bounds, and send Connor Swope out there to try and get 3 before half.
No, I agree with you, and that's why I felt like they probably cost themselves a snap there, getting on the ball there on that last play.
10 seconds left until half. The cowbells in full effect here at the Rock. Dumpert swings it out. Hochstuhl pitch out to Captain on the sideline, gets out of bounds at the 40. Gain of about 5. He gets out of bounds with 3.6.
Clever design there. Get a little eye candy on the movement on the snap. Eyes kind of go to Captain, then they throw it on the underneath little bubble screen into a little option play. Well designed, but honestly pretty well defended by the prevent of Portsmouth West.
3.6 seconds till half. Time for one final play for the Indians before the intermission. Hochstuhl in motion, and that's an illegal formation. Hochstuhl tried to motion out into the slot and made an illegal movement. That'll back up the Indians 5 yards.
Going to be the same type of play, I would think, here. See if Dumpert tries to buy some time and maybe put something up in the air. You never know. Get a penalty, maybe extend the half by a play.
We'll try again with 3.6 remaining till half. 2nd and 11. Hochstuhl in motion. Dumpert swings it out to Brown. Brown trying to get upfield. He's gobbled up at the line of scrimmage.
Flag on the far
is
side.
Down. Depending what the penalty is, that should bring us to the end of the half.
It's on defense. You get one more snap.
It's a face mask on the Senators. And yeah, that will give Hillsboro an untimed down.
This could be a field goal. See what they choose. Like I said, I mean, I'm just watching warm-ups there. I know, young man had quite a leg. That's still 47 yards, though.
appears they're granting Hillsboro a timeout. They do not have one. Some confusion here as to what's going on, because Hillsboro is out of timeouts, but the official signaled that Hillsboro wanted a timeout.
Still haven't started the play clock.
Nothing called there.
Now they do.
Untimed down from the 30-yard line, 1st and 10. Dumpert looking. Dumpert scrambling, gets past the line of scrimmage. Dumpert still on his feet. Dumpert taken down at the 20. And that finally brings us to the end of the half. Zane Evans and Christian Carrasco on the tackle, and that brings us to halftime from the Rock. We're all tied at 21 between Hillsboro and Portsmouth West. An exciting first half in this Week 3 matchup. We'll step aside and talk about our thoughts on the first half when we come back. You're watching Ohio High School Football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
It's me, Wednesday Addams. Your life just took a dark turn. I regret to inform you that I have devised the meal of misfortune with Wendy's. It's pure torture for your taste buds, with 4 nightmares dips of dread. Don't waste my time asking which ones you'll get. You must surrender to your fate. Enjoy the anguish.
Hey, Mike Glockner here from the Glockner family of dealerships. Want to wish all the fall sports athletes a very safe and successful year. Good luck.
Are you looking for the best deals on quality used trucks and cars?
Great news. Chillicothe Truck has what you're looking for.
Choose from a wide selection of makes and models. All vehicles undergo a detailed multi-point inspection and extensive reconditioning before hitting the lot. Our friendly team offers a no-pressure sales experience, ensuring you find the perfect vehicle to fit your needs. Plus, you can customize your ride with our extensive range of truck accessories, from bed covers to lift kits. Stop by 173 Rennick Avenue in Chillicothe or call us today at 740-773-8782 to get started right now.
Kimberly. Tons of practice. One chop away from a black belt. 7 of the best sidekicks. And 5 years since her cancer diagnosis at Ohio Health.
At North Fork Animal Clinic, we're more than your pet's health care. We're your neighbors. We combine top-quality veterinary care with the availability you can count on, keeping tails wagging and pets thriving. And as proud supporters of youth sports in Southern Ohio, we're committed to helping our whole community grow strong. North Fork Animal Clinic, caring for pets, supporting our community.
Richard. Countless nights in the garage. 8 shiny new Pistons. 1 very happy 16-year-old granddaughter. And 2 years since starting cancer treatment at Ohio Health.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
Rathkamp Financial is a comprehensive financial services firm committed to helping our clients improve their long-term financial success. Our customized programs seek to grow, protect, and conserve our clients' wealth by delivering personalized service and expertise. Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor, member, FINRA SIPC. Please call us at 740-775-1040 to schedule a consultation.
At Chillicothe Comfort Heating and Air, your comfort is our priority year-round.
Whether it's blazing hot or freezing cold, we've got your back with fast, reliable service you can trust.
Locally owned, honest, and done right the first time.
We have financing options available for every budget as well as 60 months 0% interest.
Call us today and feel the difference that comfort makes.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie and Son Trucking. Willie and Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie and Son Trucking each week at sosaohio.com.
Glo Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glo Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glo Fiber is here. Welcome to Glo Ohio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLO or visit glofiber.com to switch today.
Hey, Mike Glockner here from the Glockner family of dealerships. Want to talk to you about our express service that we offer at every Glockner location. Did you know that you don't need an appointment if you need a routine service done to your vehicle? All you have to do is show up. No appointment necessary. Stop by and let us serve you at any Glockner location today.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place. And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
Experience the hometown Chevrolet difference. Check out our huge selection of Silverado trucks, Equinox SUVs, and the latest Chevy models. Priced to move and ready to hit the road today. Plus, with the Hometown Advantage, you get free oil changes for life and a 10-year, 150,000-mile limited powertrain warranty at no extra cost. That's real value and real peace of mind. Your Hometown Chevrolet is proud to be your trusted local dealer of new and pre-owned inventory, delivering unbeatable deals and top-notch service. Visit us today at 501 West Emmett Avenue in Waverly or start shopping online at yourhometowncHevy.com.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place.
Look good in these shorts, right?
And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
It's me, Wednesday Addams. Your life just took a dark turn. I regret to inform you that I have devised the meal of misfortune with Wendy's. It's pure torture for your taste buds, with 4 nightmarish dips of dread. Don't waste my time asking which ones you'll get. You must surrender to your fate. Enjoy the anguish.
Halftime here at Portsmouth West as the Senators marching band recently wrapped up their halftime performance. 21-all the score here between Hillsboro and Portsmouth West in this Week 3 non-league battle. Shane Combs and Carson Francis with you tonight. Shane, what's there to like about the first half? We saw a lot of action. Portsmouth West down 14-0, later 21-7. They got up off the mat, fight back, and tie this thing up at the break.
Well, I think there's some things that we thought we would see coming in, and we have, and then there's some things that's, quite frankly, at least as far as I'm concerned, that have surprised us a little bit. Early on, I felt like the field position, which we knew would be a factor, I thought Hillsboro won that. I thought Hillsboro was able to get some things in terms of touches from their outstanding athlete Trey Captain, both in the special teams and in the run game, and it looked like they were going to blow this thing open early. To West credit, though, they come back. They come in, and they've looked to really open their offense up here in Week 3. They toss it around the yard 22 times. And, through the first 9 pass attempts, you only get 3 completions. You have an interception in there. But really settled in nicely, completed, I think it was 10 of his last 13 throws, and 3 touchdowns in there. Keep in mind, Hall also tucked it and became a runner. A 52-yard scamper in 17, so there's 69 yards. Remember, that 17-yard came on a 4th and 5 that extended a drive there. So it's been the rushing of Hillsboro and the passing attack of Portsmouth West as you come out in the second half. It'll just be interesting to see how things unfold here a little bit, see if they can establish Bishop a little bit to complement that passing game. But if you're Hillsboro, you have to see some things in the run game you like. I think if you're in the locker room right now with Hillsboro, you're talking about, hey, let's get out of our own way, make sure we keep the flags in the rest pocket by being clean in terms of our blocking and our formations and so forth, and see if we can get our run game going.
And for Portsmouth West, you talked about the play of Brody Hall in the first half. You said he was 13 of 22 in the first half, correct?
Yeah, after the 3 of 9 start, yeah.
13 of 22. He had only thrown 20 passes combined coming into this game. And as you said, the more he put the ball in the air, the more efficient he got. He settled down, got into a rhythm a little bit. Have to like what you're seeing now. If you're Portsmouth West, you know that you can kind of be a little more balanced on offense.
Well, I don't think there's any question because, again, remember the point I was making where you hear a lot of coaches talk about we run to set up the pass. You'll hear other coaches say we pass it early on these hot Friday nights early in the year to get those defensive linemen chasing our quarterback around in pass rush. So now all of a sudden he drops back to throw it 22 times. Now let's take a look and see if the penetration of Hillsboro up front, especially from some of those front guys like Deans and Yoakum and Lowe and Jordan, and see if they can continue to do a great job there and get a little pressure on the quarterback.
And if you're Hillsboro, obviously you said their offense has been doing its job. A lot of plays being made from guys like Trey Captain. Jevin Hochstuhl had a touchdown run. Captain again on special teams. Dumpert's had some nice runs as well. On defense, however, things can be a little more tight on the defensive side of the ball. You started out, again, you were up 21-7. You let West get into a rhythm. How do you get back to slowing them down and imposing your will on that West offense?
Well, I think you have to possess the football. Again, I think Hillsboro's Hillsboro has had 2 or 3 times tonight where they've absolutely killed drives, and they kind of did it to themselves, right? They did it with some penalties. They did it with some different things. So if you're Hillsboro, this reminds me a lot of the game that you and I called back in week 1 with Waverly and Miami Trace. Remember how Waverly was throwing it around the yard a little bit. They get back into it. They tie the game. And what did Miami Trace do that night? They went back to their roots of the run game and got going, and then they ended up blowing the game open. I think if you're Hillsboro, that's your formula. You've got to come back out here, and you've got to just get real fundamental and be clean in your snaps, clean in your ball handling, and try to string some runs together. And I think if you can do that, you can start to wear down Portsmouth West a little bit. But look, West goes to the locker room with a lot of confidence, a lot of momentum.
These two schools have played each other 3 times since 2020. Portsmouth West has won all 3. The first time they played was actually a COVID edition game after the 2020 postseason when teams got knocked out of the playoffs. They were granted permission to play a few extra games to allow them to play close to a full-length season in a shortened COVID season. And then in 2023 and 2024 started a series with Portsmouth West winning 49-34 here at the Rock in 2023, and a much closer game in Hillsboro last year, 27-21 in favor of the Senators. This one's shaping up to be another good one here in this rather new non-league series.
It is, and with so many returners on both sides of the field, you wonder if that plays a little bit of a factor. Like you said, you're trying to get over the hump. If you're Hillsboro, you're 2-0 for the first time in forever, and you're trying to, get to that 3-0 mark, and to do so, you've got to get over the hump. They probably felt like they left one on the table last year at home. So now you come here on the road in week 3. It's your first road game. There's just a lot of tests that Hillsboro's taking here this evening that it's going to be exciting to see in the next 2 quarters if they pass.
And, you talked about Hillsboro leaving this game on the table last year. They started the season 1-3 last season. In those 3 losses in those first 4 games, they lost by a combined 16 points. So especially now that you're 2-0, you're trying to build your momentum early on. This is one that you don't want to let slip away and let history repeat itself.
Well, and you know as well as I do, because you've been around sports so long, when you read that stat to me, 3 games, 16 combined points, you know as well as I do, you could go back and take 1 or 2 snaps in all 3 of those games, and you could flip it the other way and be 4-0. So it really is. It's a skill to learn how to get in winning time and execute and find a way, and that'll be interesting here. Like I said, I'd be shocked to see one of these 2 teams get away from the other one here as we get into the fourth quarter. I think we're into a 1-possession game. It should be a good one.
And we have some other games that are pretty tight or games of interest in our area. The most notable one up in Jackson with 3:21 left in the first half. The Pirates and the Ironmen tied at 7. And then at the half from Lucasville, the Valley Indians are ahead of Piketon 14-0 in 2 battles of the undefeateds.
Paint Valley 22, McLean 19 at halftime. That's the Battle of 41 trophy that they play for every year. They started that about 2 or 3 years ago. I think Paint Valley's won it each year so far. So that's one McLean's had circle on its schedule this year.
And you and I watched Paint Valley last week, and obviously we're not there. We haven't seen what's been going on tonight at Bainbridge, but already just sounds like a night and day difference with that Paint Valley team from last week to this week.
Well, remember, I heard you say, I don't know if you said it on air or if you said it here at halftime, when we talked about Portsmouth a little bit, what we're finding is Uniota's just really good. They're putting it on Waverly again tonight. So sometimes it persuades you how good a team you're scheduling. Last week, I thought, I don't know how you felt, but I felt it had far more to do with Athens and their talent than it did with Paint Valley and what they lacked. That Athens team is just special.
And we're seeing how good Valley is. That's right. Who Paint Valley faced week 1. You start your season with those 2. You're and especially with how many Paint Valley had on the roster as well. I mean, I think it was 28 students I counted last week on the roster for the Bearcats. And that's a recipe for a tough start, but it's got to be nice to, even though the game's not over, kind of build some confidence there in the first half.
Well, and to your point, I believe Paint Valley ended up getting at least 2 of those defensive starters back this week. So all of a sudden you have a hint of depth, right? You have a little bit of that too. So that'll be something to keep an eye on here into the second half of this game, is to see how they're going to wear on each other. It's been a pretty physical game in the trenches at this point.
Portsmouth West, as I mentioned earlier, in the first game of back-to-back meetings with FAC opponents, they'll travel up to Chillicothe for a matchup with the Cavaliers, who were leading Western Brown 14-0 at the half tonight in the home opener. And they'll open up SOC play the following week at Waverly. And Hillsboro, after tonight, will travel to Williamsburg and then head back home to face Pontus Career Tech out of Dayton. They start FAC play at home against the Jackson Ironmen.
Yeah, well, I mean, and, you'll cross that bridge when you get to it. But if you're Hillsboro, you got a great opportunity in front of you, but you can't get ahead. You got to stay in the present here. You're in a dogfight here at the half, tied at 21, and you're going to get the ball to start. You certainly want to come out and put your stamp on this third quarter right away and try to play out in front.
And speaking of Jackson and Chillicothe, the Hillsboro, a founding member of the Frontier Athletic Conference, along with Chillicothe, Jackson, Miami Trace, Washington Courthouse, and McLean. Every year that the FAC has been around, it's been either Chillicothe or Jackson that's won it, except for 2018 when Hillsboro split the league title with Jackson. That's Jackson's only FAC loss that wasn't to Chillicothe in the history of the FAC.
Well, and it just that speaks to Jackson. I think as people listen to you say that probably doesn't surprise them very much when you just consider the consistency, the reloading of Jackson. And I heard you mention it there at the first half and at halftime here. That Jackson Wheelersburg, that's a who's who when it comes to the Sosa coverage area in terms of matchups this evening.
You can follow our Brock Netter on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, for updates on that game. You can also follow our Austin Hanna as he provides updates from Lucasville for the Valley Piketon game. Back here, the team's given an extra 3 minutes to warm up after the halftime entertainment. We'll take a quick break before the second half gets underway. Here at Portsmouth West, you're watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie and Son Trucking. Willie and Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week, presented by Willie and Son Trucking, each week at sosaohio.com.
Rathkamp Financial is a comprehensive financial services firm committed to helping our clients improve their long-term financial success. Our customized programs seek to grow, protect, and conserve our clients' wealth by delivering personalized service and expertise. Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor, member, FINRA SIPC. Please call us at 740-775-1040 to schedule a consultation.
We welcome you back to The Rock on the banks of the Ohio River. Portsmouth West and Hillsboro knotted up at 21 as we will get the second half underway here in just about a minute. Hillsboro will start the second half with possession. Shane, if you're Hillsboro, how do you look to attack with the ball to start the half?
Well, again, I think it starts with good special teams play. To see if you can get good field position. We've seen some outstanding kick coverage on both sides tonight, so that's the first thing. But I really go and try to get my run game going with a mixture. We had 5 different Hillsboro Indians carry it there in the first half with Captain and Cornelia and Swackhammer and Dumpert, and then I know I'm missing one. Oh, Hoxtel. So, I mean, you have 5 different guys running in behind that offensive line. You just want to mix and match and go. Carson, I've been awfully spoiled this week. Dewey and I had 2 5-set volleyball matches on Tuesday, Thursday. Incredible teams. 4 really, really good volleyball teams. Now here I am calling tonight, and we're tied at 21 also. It's hard to to go against the Sosa picks this week in terms of where we've been providing the coverage.
A great week of live stream coverage here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health. We've got one half of football left from the Rock. Christian Carrasco squibs it out of bounds. That'll be a penalty to start the second half here at Portsmouth West.
Yeah, trying to go right down the numbers there on the left side and just pulled it a little bit. And, you know, again, 35 is not ideal, but it's certainly better, in my opinion, than letting the likes of a Captain or a Brown or some of these athletes touch it in space.
Mason Dumpert and the Hillsboro offense will set up shop at the 35. Shane, they started off with some electricity in the first half. Captain, Hochstuhl, Slackhammer all had some big runs. Kind of stalled towards the end of the half. Let's see if they can pick back their rhythm here in the second half. As a first snap, they hand it off. Corneli up the middle, dives forward, and he's brought down after a gain of about 3.
Yeah, just going off left tackle there, getting in, running behind Lowe, and Hardy on that left side. Solid first down gain, and again, that's where, let's see if Hillsboro can put 4 and 5 straight snaps together, avoiding the penalty, and see if they can get the run game really going in its full arsenal.
Austin Ramsey, one of the Senators, to bring down Corneli. Captain in motion. They hand it off. Swackhammer up the middle. Portsmouth West is saying they have the football, and it is Senator football. Swackhammer puts the ball on the ground, and the Senators come up with it.
Just what you needed there if you're West. Big-time turnover plus side of the field, and for the first time tonight, you've got a chance to go play out in front.
This momentum that the Senators gained in the late parts of the first half is carried over into the second. A fumble recovery in plus territory sets things up at the 39 for Brody Hall and the Senators offense. The 2 men on each side, already 5 on the play clock. Hall takes a snap, looking downfield over the middle. It's complete. Anthony Bishop down the seam. He was smothered in coverage and still found a way to make the grab.
Yeah, pretty much the same type of play that they scored the touchdown on that seam route. They found something there they like in the matchup, and they've had some success with it.
Well, 1st and 10 at the 23. Brody Hall continuing to play the harp of his rhythm. Here's Bishop. Bishop gets tackled after a gain of a few. Good hard-nosed run by Anthony Bishop. Call it a gain of about 6 yards on the carry.
Yeah, Hillsboro bringing the blitz off the right side there, right side of the defense, and they basically just run right where he comes from and get 6 yards out of it.
I formation. On 2nd down, they hand it off to Bishop. Bishop weaving through traffic, taken down near the 10. And the Senators knocking on the door once again after the carry from Bishop.
6-yard carry, now an 8-yard carry, and Bishop starting to get going. You can tell from the body language on both sides. You can feel it on the crowd here on the home side. The fumble there to start the half. Momentum really on the Senator side.
Bishop will hit the sideline. In comes Corbin Miller for the Senators. I formation. Wesson Ratcliffe, the deep man. They hand it off. Ratcliffe breaks a tackle, gets to the outside. He gets blown up near the 5 by Captain. But a tough run. Weston Ratcliffe, the freshman, showing off some speed for a gain of 4.
Freshman, good physical run there, and see if Hillsboro can keep him out of the end zone here.
Ratcliffe, only a freshman, but getting plenty of playing time on both sides of the ball. Here's the toss to Bishop on second down. Bishop dives into the end zone. Touchdown. Senators have their first lead of the night.
Yes, Swackhammer got into the backfield. Bishop just with a little move makes him miss, and then from that point on, it's just a pretty easy route to the end zone. And West has really responded here. Was down, 21-13. Now an extra point away from pushing it out to a 28-21 advantage.
Down 14-0 and 21-7. Now in the lead. Eli Blevins sinks the PAT to make it a 7-point lead after the 6-yard touchdown run from Anthony Bishop, giving the Senators their first lead of the night. You're watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Hey, Mike Glockner here from the Glockner family of dealerships. Want to wish all the fall sports athletes a very safe and successful year. Good luck.
A favorable turn of events, to say the least, if you're Portsmouth West, to start the second half. A fumble recovery in enemy territory, and you cash in with your best offensive player, Anthony Bishop, scoring from 6 yards out. Senators in the lead for the first time tonight, 28-21.
Yeah, 11:24 to go in the second quarter. Hillsboro went up 21-7. It's been all Senators since that point.
Short kick from Carrasco takes a bounce, and it goes out of bounds just at the 1 yard line. Trey Captain waiting till the last second. Thought about fielding it, but he lets it roll out of bounds wisely. You'll take the field position if you're Hillsboro.
Yeah, that one's different there than the other one, because obviously that ball's just about a yard away from being perfect.
Again, a reminder, we're not allowed to have any kind of drones flying over the field, so if you could please park that.
So once again, Hillsboro will set up shop at the 35, trying to take care of the football. Costly fumble on that last drive. Dumpert gives it to Captain on the outside. Captain's going backwards. Zane Evans, the first man to stop Captain in his tracks. They had that snuffed out from the beginning, and Evans makes the Indians pay.
Yeah, nothing there, and again, a little bit of that east-west running there. And West able to win the line of scrimmage, string that out, and get into the backfield.
Call it a loss of 2, 2nd and 12. Coming up on 8:30 left in the third. Hoxtell in motion. Dumpert fakes a give, looking downfield, throwing for Captain down the seam. It goes through his hands. Had him open, underthrew him just a little bit, and Ratcliffe and Bishop were down in coverage.
Bishop comes back. He might have got a hand in there to break it up, but he comes out holding his right shoulder, and they're going to try to get someone into the game for him there. Keegan Salem, a sophomore, going to come in as a defensive backfield. Now we have another Senator down. That looks like cramp. I mean, I'm not going to play doctor from up here, but I believe that's a cramp.
They're stretching him out as if that was the case. Shane Dumpert had Trey Captain open, just underthrew him a little bit, and with how little Hillsboro's thrown the ball this year, you have to wonder if they're in a position to where they need to throw the ball. That could be a cause for concern if you're Hillsboro.
Well, it's certainly not who they are or what they want to do. They want to take their shots every now and then. They've had a couple big pass plays this year. They've thrown a couple 60-plus yard touchdowns or big plays, but yeah, obviously that's not who they are. I thought that time, you're right, Captain had a little bit of a step on him, but Dumpert was rolling out, was in a little bit of traffic. I don't know that he really got to step into the throw the way he would have wanted to.
It's Braden Adkins, the Senator, down on the play. He will be taken off the field. We hope that he's okay and that we can see him later on in this game tonight and especially for Portsmouth West, you want to have him out there. He's made a lot of huge plays on both sides of the ball. 3rd and 12. Flag down. Here's a handoff to Captain. Captain gets a few yards, but not nearly enough for the first down, and we'll check and see what the marker is.
Getting in there for the Senators, flag on the play.
You know, while they're sorting that flag out, think about that previous play. You had the cramp of Atkins and then the shoulder concern of Bishop. Those are two of your top players. You can't afford to lose those guys.
Call offsides on Portsmouth West, so that'll give Hillsboro a new play. 3rd down and 7.
Huge penalty. That was going to bring up 4th down on this side of the field. You probably would have had to punt the football. Now, if you're Hillsboro, you come back, 3rd and about, I'd call it maybe 7.
Let's see if the Indians can capitalize on the new opportunity. Dumpert pitches it out to Hoxtell. Hoxtell trying to get to the sideline. Flag down again. Hoxtell breaks the tackle. Don't think he got to the first down marker.
Our official had him about a yard short, but I think we're going to have a hold on the edge here anyway. West will have to take the penalty because they don't want it to go up there to the 4th and short.
Be holding on the Indians. Yeah, and smart call if you're Portsmouth West to take the penalty, because obviously with guys like Hoxtell, Trey Captain, Colin Swackhammer, you don't want to give Hillsboro an easy 4th and 1.
No, I agree. And again, it's not really a team. I say this and then it might burn them, but they're not really a team that has shown the ability with the pass play. If the big play comes, it would probably be in some sort of breaking a run or some sort of play action.
3rd and 17. Dumpert fakes the give on the speed option, gets back to the original line of scrimmage, but taken down by a couple Senators. Not nearly enough for the first down.
Yeah, nice run, but again, in that situation, just not quite what they needed. Probably going to force the punt here. Now, the one thing you do want to be careful if you're West is a fake. Hillsboro in a position where they might try to steal a little momentum here, so you want to make sure that you stay alert, execute your receive team, and get the possession of the football back.
Eli Myers and Zane Evans combine for the tackle. Landon Jordan punts it away. Bishop back to return. Fields it at the 26. Good coverage by Hillsboro, and they stop him in his tracks. Landon Holland flies down the field, and Bishop maybe only gets a yard on the return.
Yeah, outstanding coverage from the sophomore Holland. Gets down there in an open field tackle against Bishop. Certainly not an easy task, able to get him to the ground.
Now West offense coming back out, their first chance to go up by multiple scores, and you have to wonder what kind of damage it would do to Hillsboro should the Senators put the ball in the end zone again.
I agree.
Ball on the 28-yard line.
They've showed a lot of balance in their offensive attack. Their first rushing touchdown of the night on their last drive. Hall to throw on first down. It's complete to Corbin Miller for a gain of about 7. Miller, the 6'3" junior, hauls that in. That'll make it 2nd and 3.
12 of his last 15 going back to the first half there. Hall's just completely become comfortable in the pocket. Hillsboro unable to get to him and put pressure on him.
2 receivers on the near side. Bishop standing behind Hall. On 2nd down, screen pass to Schonkweiler on the near side. Schonkweiler breaks a tackle, but can't break the other one. Malachi Aber and Colin Swackhammer teaming up to bring down Schonkweiler, make it 3rd and 1.
Yeah, big play here, still on the negative side of the field. Be an awfully gutsy call to go for it on the 4th down situation, so you just assume convert here.
I formation, here's the handoff to Bishop. Bishop bouncing it outside, Bishop to the sideline. The ball comes out, but not before Bishop goes out of bounds. Zach Brown with the stop. Bishop slow to get up. He'll stay on the sideline, and Weston Ratcliffe.
Outstanding job left side of the offensive line there, getting in behind Potters and Carver. And I think Bishop, I don't know if he's 100%, but he's kind of in a gut check right now for his guys.
Ratcliffe, the freshman, takes over for Bishop in the backfield. 1st and 10 at the 44. Hall looking downfield, going for Adkins. It's incomplete. Overthrew him just a little bit. And some traffic there as well. Maybe not the worst thing in the world to have that ball overthrown just a little bit.
Brought a little pressure there off of Hall's right side. I thought the freshman Ratliff, who just came into the game there, did a nice job of picking it up and giving Hall a chance to step into his throw. Good coverage downfield.
Sean Hottinger in coverage for the Indians. Still 2nd and 10 at the 45 after the incompletion. Hall dropping back, sets up a screen for Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe's got it, and he's trying to get to the outside, breaks 2 tackles, and gets the first down. Weston Ratcliffe, small but mighty. A bowling ball effort to pick up the first down.
What a physical run from the rookie there. He just takes on 2 would-be tacklers and just bounces off of them and just continues on downfield. So with Bishop needing a little bit of a break there with the shoulder, Ratliff comes in and provides a spark.
Ratcliffe, as I was saying earlier, has seen some action on both sides of the ball in the early stages of the season as only a freshman. Making some plays tonight as well. They give it back to Ratcliffe on 1st and 10. Ratcliffe to the sideline, makes a man miss, and gets close to the first down. Weston Ratcliffe showing off the perfect combination of power and speed. Moves the chains once again for the Senators.
And again, Carson, it's off the left side. They've really found something there in some of the blocking schemes and some of the matchups that they like, and they've really been able to exploit it.
Be 1st and 10 at the 31 after the pickup from the 5'9" freshman.
Talked about the fatigue of that defensive front for Hillsboro.
Bishop back in the game. They give it to him on 1st and 10 up the middle. Bishop gets a gain of about 6, taken down by Jordan Lowe.
Now I love the complimentary from the first half to the second half. Now all of a sudden they are going to that run game, and you see they've got Hillsboro on their heels a little bit fatigued up front there and really taking advantage.
I formation, flag down on the snap. Here's Bishop. Bishop gets to the outside, gain of about 4. Taken down by a couple of Hillsboro defenders. It probably will come back after the flag.
Another Senator first down. We think.
The Portsmouth West not very happy with the call here, but
telling them to place the ball. Scoring update in our area, some common opponents between these two teams. Chillicothe up 22-0 on Western Brown. The young stud Carte Ligon with 281 yards on the ground for the Cavaliers.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise anyone that's seen that kid play. If you haven't, you need to. He's special.
Hall swings it out to Schonkweiler on the outside, and it gets blown up by Sean Hottinger. He's been all over the field tonight, and he's got another tackle.
Got a West player down on the far side over there. That happened about 8 or 9 yards downfield in front of the play.
That is Micah Barnes down for the Senators, and while he gets checked out, we'll briefly step aside as you're watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Richard. Countless nights in the garage. 8 shiny new pistons. 1 very happy 16-year-old granddaughter. And 2 years since starting cancer treatment at Ohio Health.
At Chillicothe Comfort Heating and Air, your comfort is our priority year-round.
Whether it's blazing hot or freezing cold, we've got your back with fast, reliable service you can trust.
Locally owned, honest, and done right the first time.
We have financing options available for every budget as well as 60 months 0% interest.
Call us today and feel the difference that comfort makes.
Back here at the Rock at Portsmouth West High School, 3:05 left in the third quarter as Micah Barnes, the man shaken up for Portsmouth West. Good to see him walking off on his own power, but grasping his shoulder as he walks off. We'll see what the update is on him later on. 3rd and 11. Hall looking downfield. He's under pressure, gets it up and throws it away. Swackhammer applying some pressure on Hall. That brings up 4th down.
Yeah, I think that's what you've got to do if you're Hillsboro. You got to trust some of your back end, because right now, if you're giving Hall time, he's been in pretty good rhythm over the last quarter and a half. That time they bring a little pressure, force him to move out of his spot, and he has to throw it away. Field position-wise, you're going to go ahead and go for it. Here's a great opportunity for Hillsboro's defense to get off the field.
4th and 11. Barnes back in the game after sitting for one play. High snap. Hall looking downfield. He is under pressure. Flush trying to get outside. Hall shows off some speed. Gets a first down and then some. Puts the Senators in the red zone. Brody Hall, the 6'1 senior, showing off the wheels.
Outstanding. Pretty much the 3rd time tonight that he's been able to tuck the ball and go, and every single time it's been effective in some way. That's his 2nd 4th down conversion now as a runner. And this one's got his team looking 1st and 10 at the 15 with a chance to push this out to a 2-possession game, and they got a chance to do so as this clock starts to shrink here in the 3rd quarter.
West back in the red zone where they scored on their previous drive. Here's a toss out to Bishop. Bishop, stiff arms, breaks a tackle. Bishop into the end zone again. Touchdown West. The brilliance of Anthony Bishop. He delivers once again from 15 yards out.
It's been off that left side here in the 3rd quarter. Carson, again, they go back to Bishop to the edge. Again, put a little star on that 4th down scramble from Hall. Come right back, get Bishop to the left edge, and it's been all Senators here over the last 2 quarters, and they've got a chance now to go up 35-21, and I think this is what you were talking about earlier, playing from behind now. How will Hillsboro react to that?
The extra point from Blevins is no good. It's wide left.
That could be a factor later. Going to store that one a little bit as well.
That'll keep our score at 34-21, 2:36 remaining here in the 3rd quarter from the Rock. You're watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Are you looking for the best deals on quality used trucks and cars?
Great news. Chillicothe Truck has what you're looking for.
Choose from a wide selection of makes and models. All vehicles undergo a detailed multi-point inspection and extensive reconditioning before hitting the lot. Our friendly team offers a no-pressure sales experience, ensuring you find the perfect vehicle to fit your needs. Plus, you can customize your ride with our extensive range of truck accessories, from bed covers to lift kits. Stop by 173 Rennick Avenue in Chillicothe or call us today at 740-773-8782 to get started right now.
34-21 here at Portsmouth West. Senators with their largest lead of the night after the 2nd straight rushing touchdown from Anthony Bishop. Carrasco to boot it away. Another squib kick. They'll let it roll to Captain. It goes through his hands and out of bounds at the 1-yard line. That ball came blistering off the foot of Carrasco. Trey Captain couldn't field it. And there's a scramble away from the ball. Sidelines clears, players being separated. Some pandemonium here at Portsmouth West. Some extracurriculars away from the ball. Christian Carrasco and John Deans tied up after the kick.
Well, obviously you don't want any of that. As far as the play goes, again, they've been using that low, hard kick to the left side. And that time he hits it in his perfect angle. And once it touches him there, it becomes a factor. And now, now the officials will get together and get it all sorted out. Pretty good job, everybody getting that under control. I thought officials and sidelines did a good job.
Just not what you want to see in a game like this, in any game at this level. Sometimes your emotions just get the best of you. You got to stay under control.
No, it is, and it's part of the learning curve and so forth. And again, that's where coaches will do a great job, and the officials did a good job of getting control of the situation here. And when you get back to football here, Carson, now if you're Hillsboro, think about this. You're down 2 scores. The field position is going to be a mess. And is that coming out to the 20?
We'll see where they spot the ball. I'm interested to see where they spot the ball after the penalty. Yeah, he touched it. It rolled out of bounds. I thought it went out of bounds at the 1-2 yard line. So I think because he touched it, it just goes out of bounds. I'll spot the ball where it went out.
Again, you got to go all the way back to early second quarter. It's crazy to think some of the rhythm Hillsboro had offensively in the first probably 14, 15 game minutes. And since then, they've just really struggled to put consistency together, to put any sort of drive together against this Portsmouth West defense.
Some stoppage in play here, is you did mention during the scuffle on that kickoff, an official went down. Some players also made their way off the sideline. I think the refs are conversing to see what they should rule here, what kind of penalties they should assess. Who to assess a penalty to what team.
What makes it so difficult here, Carson, is because it was at the end of a kickoff. So you naturally have guys on the field, guys running onto the field thinking they're getting ready to play defense or offense. Does that make sense? It's not a normal leave the sideline situation. I'll be honest, my eyes were down there watching the football, and then this happened back here. So the same way for those kids, in defense of them, if you're on the Hillsboro sideline, okay, we're getting ready to go play offense. If I'm on the Portsmouth West sideline, I'm on the defensive unit, well, I run on the field. It's defense. So it's a really tricky dynamic in terms of sorting this out.
The officials split up. Half will go talk to Todd Gilliland, the head coach of the Senators. The other half over to talk to Coach Nathan Horn of the Indians.
I understand in smaller school football, you probably have a lot of your offense or defensive guys already out there on special teams. But, again, you do like a math problem there for a split second as they run on and off. It is a part of the football game where you could probably have almost 30, 35 different kids on the field as they come on and off. Does that make sense?
While we have a stoppage in play, we want to remind you that we do have the Haynes Total Healthcare Coaches Call-In Show presented by Edward Jones. Immediately after tonight's game, John Bruce and Jeff Miller in studio bringing you some post-game coverage of tonight's games. And then over the weekend, start of next week, Shane, you and John will be doing Sosa's weekly podcast, Overtime, presented by Perfection One. You and Dewey actually had a terrific show this past week, and excited to see what you guys bring for us in this coming week after an exciting weekend of coverage for our live streams, as you were talking about earlier on.
Well, I appreciate that. And one of the things I really wanted to talk to John about putting on the agenda was atmospheres, because I've been really blessed this week. As I said, if you hadn't had a chance to see volleyball this week, go back on Sosa. There's a 5-set thriller where Logan Elm outlasted Circleville, and then Gallia Academy in a battle of unbeatens beat Wheelersburg last night 16-14 in that 5th set. Go back and watch those. It's incredible. But the atmospheres in the two gyms I was at, and then a football Friday night here at the Rock. If you haven't been to it before, it's a really cool event, and I think that's something in Southern Ohio that we get a lot of. Don't you agree? You get a lot of those really cool atmospheres. Fan bases and student bodies really support their particular programs.
Well, especially too in this part of the state, you have schools that, it's kind of all that these towns, these communities have, and so you get to Friday nights, this is what these communities live for, or in your case during volleyball season, these schools, these communities want to support their team. And so that provides the great atmospheres like the ones that you had Tuesday, Thursday in volleyball, and then tonight here at the Rock. Just been an outstanding atmosphere. Personally, one of my favorite places that I've called a game here in the Southeast area.
No, I would agree with that. And, you and I come in about 2 hours early tonight, and they're out there tailgating in the parking lot, and you get there, and then the crowd starts to fill up. It was Little League night, and they had all their kids and their cheerleaders from all the elementary grades, and you just see the orange and black all over the place here, and it's a great atmosphere.
Our head referee assessing the penalties. And we have a player ejected for Portsmouth West.
So they'll get that all sorted out there, and we'll get back to football here. And again, I thought overall the officials did a nice job there. Those are always situations you hope you'll always avoid. Unfortunately, they're a part of the game sometimes, and you have to handle it and move on, and that's what they did.
Excuse me, the ejection goes against the Indians. We obviously don't have the officials mic'd up. We don't know who exactly was ejected, and who will have to watch the rest of this game from the sidelines. I don't believe they send you to the locker room for ejections in high school football.
And then keep in mind that's going to affect weeks to come too here.
Indians backed up to their own 1 yard line, and a stoppage in play before the snap. We need to get the chain set. The chains are not set up to the play. You have the down marker at the 1 yard line, but the chains are moved up about 10 yards.
There you go. Yeah, because it was off the kickoff, so it was not a pre-snap penalty.
We'll try this again from the Indians' 1 yard line. Dumpert on the QB sneak. And he might have got to the line of scrimmage. I don't think he got very far on that one.
Well, you talk about the multiple problems just continuing to grow here. You're not only down 34-21, now you start your next drive on the half-yard line, and you just don't have possessions to waste.
They'll give Mason Dumpert a yard on the keeper. Hillsboro still in the shadows of their own goalpost.
Keep in mind, Dumpert had a 96-yard touchdown earlier this year.
Don't want to give him any open space. 2nd and 9 at the 2. Dumpert fakes a toss, going downfield for Hochstuhl. It's deflected and incomplete. Gunnar Schunkweiler, excellent coverage, knocking the ball out of the hands of Hochstuhl. Some grown man football from Gunnar Schunkweiler.
Yeah, outstanding coverage, and again, the consistency been well officiated tonight. The consistency's been if you get the head back on the ball and play the ball, they'll give you a little bit of contact, and he did. He did a good job of getting in position. He got his head back on the quarterback, went up and played the ball, and they break it up, 3rd and 9. Let's see if Hillsboro's going to get and take another shot.
If you're Hillsboro, you're kind of in a position to where you might have to put the ball in the air more often. 3rd and 9 at the 2. Dumpert keeps it himself. Dumpert still with it, gets it out to Captain at the last second, and that's going to be enough for a first down and then some. Mason Dumpert at the 11th hour gets it out to Trey Captain for a first down.
That is some big-time quarterbacking play right there. He continues to hold the ball upfield. Captain does a good job of staying where he's supposed to make himself available on the option, and that ball comes from the 2 yard line all the way out to the 22, and that 20-yard gain gives Hillsboro a little bit of life here.
and gives the Indians some breathing room field position-wise now. Just past the 20, 1st and 10. Dumpert keeps it himself. Dumpert gets a few yards, and he's still on his feet, taken down by about 5 or 6 defenders. Not taken down, just stood up. Tough running from the quarterback.
Yeah, real impressed with his physicality as he finishes that run there. And slowly but surely, Hillsboro starting to show a little bit of life here. Still plenty of time as you're only coming up on the end of the third quarter, but you really need something out of this drive.
2nd and 3 at the 30. Here's Hochstuhl on the outside. Hochstuhl's got some room, had a couple blocks before being tripped up past the 40. Looked like Weston Ratcliffe was one of the guys that chased him down.
Got in behind the pulling right guard there, Caden Robbins, and put his hand right on his back and just kind of guided the way. And Hillsboro continues to move the chains all on the ground here.
About 20 seconds left in the third. Captain in motion. Dumpert gives it up. Swackhammer up the middle. Swackhammer powers his way forward. Ball comes out. Portsmouth West says they have it, and they do.
Wow.
Swackhammer gets it stripped. Austin Ramsey comes up with the football. And just in the final seconds of the third quarter, the Senators have it back at midfield.
Well, that's what ended up swinging the entire momentum out of the locker room. Remember, the defensive line being able to pull the ball out of there and get one earlier in the quarter. So they start the third quarter with a fumble. Looks like they're going to end, or at least 13 seconds to go in the quarter, with a fumble. And as a result, the Hillsboro offense continues to shake their head as they're beating themselves on one foot. But at the same time, I think there's two parts of a fumble, right? You got to also tip your cap to the defensive effort.
Second turnover of the third quarter for Portsmouth West. This should be the final play of the frame. Downfield, pass is complete down the sideline. Braden Adkins with the catch, and Brody Hall put that ball right in the breadbasket.
He really did. 21 yards to Atkins. Good to see him back off the cramps there. Nothing fancy about that route. He just ran right by him, and a perfect throw, perfect catch.
8.3 remaining in the quarter. Maybe time for one final play.
Yeah, I think they actually said he went out of bounds there, so you'll definitely get the snap here.
I formation. They toss it to Bishop. Bishop with some room through traffic. And I think they're going to give him the first down.
Hillsboro, no answer on that left side at all as they just continue to run it hard, and as they fire the clock back up, that'll take us to the quarter.
3 quarters down and 1 to go from the Rock. After being down 21-7, the Portsmouth West Senators up by 13 as we head into the final 12 minutes. You're watching Ohio High School Football and Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
Fourth quarter of football from Portsmouth West set to get underway. 34-21, your score in favor of the Senators. Carson Francis and Shane Combs with you tonight. Shane, West down 14-0, 21-7. They tied it right before the half, and that third quarter was all Senators. They're well in control, and scored here, you have to think probably puts it away.
Highlighted by the 2 fumbles forced there in the third quarter, and as a result, Hillsboro didn't really possess the football very long during that frame. And, you know, if you're Portsmouth West, you're playing some good complementary football. You take it away, put it in the end zone, take it away again. So here's a great opportunity for the Senators, as you said. I think it's safe to say almost put it away if they get this thing in the end zone.
Senators in the red zone once more. I formation, they hand it up the middle. Bo Roten on the carry, gets a few.
Yeah, I haven't seen Roten much. In fact, I think that's his first carry of the night on an inside run. I kind of like the call, too, because I like the ball control. We talk about time and score. You know, that this is really, really a big factor in keeping that clock moving now.
Connor Yoakum brings him down at the 15. Wobbly snap. Hall trying to make something out of it. Flag is down. And Hall taken down at the line of scrimmage. Some flags during and after the play.
Yeah, I think you have I think you had some contact after the whistle, and then I think you probably got a little bit of a little bit of a sell job there, maybe too. Nonetheless, it's going to be a factor.
A couple flags. Holding is declined.
A holding on the Senators declined, but the personal foul is taken. And that backs up Portsmouth West tremendously all the way back to the 37.
Well, you talk about a huge penalty. Like you said, I think we both agree that Hillsboro can't really afford to go down a third score, and that goes a long way in giving their defense a chance here to get off the field. Even a field goal would still keep it at 2 possession.
Second and a country mile for the Senators. Bishop in motion. Hall looking, he lost the football, and he hops right back on it. Sigh of relief if you're Portsmouth West. The pressure from Hillsboro made Hall lose the ball, and that backs up Portsmouth West even further.
Jack Renee coming off the edge there, and Hall just dropped the ball, alert enough to go and get it. Or that could have been one of those scoop and scores that completely changed the narrative here.
If my math serves me correctly, it's third and about 36.
I'm glad you're doing the figuring.
Got to do that on the fly. Here's Hall looking downfield under pressure, and he goes down. Landon Jordan showing off the strength and drops Brody Hall at midfield. A big third down stop for the Indians.
Yeah, big time hit from Jordan there. Yeah, Jordan comes off the edge there and good stick. And now if you're Portsmouth West, I would think you'd go ahead and punt and try to win some field position here as the clock's going to go under 10 minutes. So they'll use it all the way down and probably just take the delay of game. If it's already 4th and 50 or whatever, what's it matter if it's 4th and 55?
I think it's about somewhere around 40. Neither of us are.
Oh, they used the timeout. That's interesting to me there. To me, the 5 yards would have been worth saving the timeout.
You would have had more room to pin Hillsboro back as well.
I mean, right now you're the team that's winning, so you're hoping that timeout doesn't come back to hurt you later. But nonetheless, I'd just rather have that timeout in my pocket.
Nonetheless, the first time out of the half used by the Senators. 9:50 remaining here in the ballgame. 2 rushing touchdowns from Anthony Bishop in the third quarter have propelled the Senators to a 13-point lead. Carrasco back to punt. Trey Captain, the return man. Hillsboro bringing pressure. End over end punt, and it sails out of bounds. I don't even think that got to the 30.
Yeah, I agree with you. That they're kind of lining it up there. And what are they settling on? About the 38, maybe?
It's where the official is standing to mark it. Now, if you're Hillsboro, you got good field position. It's kind of now or never time.
Yeah, I agree with you. At 9:44, you might get this in 2 more. You'll probably get this in 1 more. I would say you could get this in 2 more if depending on how the game plays out. But I would agree with you. This has to result in points here for Hillsboro if you're going to get back in this thing.
1st and 10 at the 38. Hoxel in motion. Dumpert rolling, trying to find something downfield, comes back to his left. Dumpert fires downfield, it's complete. Zach Brown on the reception at midfield, moves the chains.
Nice job by Dumpert. He comes out, he wanted a little throwback angle, wasn't there. He just extends the play. Receivers do a good job of working with him. Brown sits down right there at midfield and 12-yard gain for the first down.
Dumpert putting it in the air a little more than he did in the first half. Now a handoff, Corneli. Corneli showing off some speed, dives forward, picks up a first past the 40-yard line. And we talked about the urgency Hillsboro needed to play with on this drive, and right now, back-to-back first downs, moving it quickly.
But Carson, wouldn't you agree with me that throughout the night, it hasn't necessarily been their inability to have good plays. It's been their inability not to fumble and have penalties that's killing the drives.
You've got to wonder what would have happened when they didn't turn the ball over. They were moving the ball on both of those drives. 1st and 10, Dumpert fakes the give. Looking, he's going to keep it himself. Dumpert's got some room. Dumpert trying to break a tackle, brought down in the red zone by Bishop. Mason Dumpert putting the team on his back. Picks up a huge first down, puts the Indians at the 16.
Yeah, about 25 yards. Again, the running back does a good job of staying available, and what that does, Carson, is it makes that defensive back have to stay home, and he just goes ahead and tucks it under and gets it. I guess it's going to be about 24 as they're going to spot it just shy of the 15.
First down, Indians.
1st and 10 at the 16. Hoxtel in motion. They give it to Corneli. Corneli gets tripped up, stays on his feet, and gets past the 10.
Yeah, nice effort. Again, they're doing it fairly quick. The clock is ticking. By the time they snap this, it'll be under 8 minutes. But again, if they get points here, they're right where they want to be in terms of coming back to steal one late.
Hillsboro with plenty of room to pick up a first down without scoring as well. 2nd and 3 at the 9. Hoxtel in motion again. They hand it off to Captain. Captain through traffic, gets teamed up, and I don't think he got the first down. Austin Ramsey and Tilton Rapp on the tackle, make it 3rd and 1.
Yeah, we've said those names a lot tonight. Ramsey and Raft have just been outstanding to the ball. And obviously this is 2-down territory from the 3rd and short. But again, the clock is a factor. You can't use 3-4 minutes to get this thing in, so you need to get it now.
3rd and 1 at the 7. Dumpert fakes the give, rolling. Looking downfield, he's going to do it with his legs. Dumpert gets to about the 2-yard line before being driven out of bounds. Mason Dumpert improvising, picks up a first down for the Indians.
Yeah, we watched Hall do it with his feet on 4th down there. Dumpert with a big 3rd down. I love the way he just kind of bounced that out there and stayed patient. Then when he found his angle, he exploded just shy of the goal line here. 1st and goal now from the 2 as the clock's going to go. Well, he was out of bounds. It's going to stay at 7:06.
Indians on the doorstep of the red zone. Dumpert will keep it himself. Dumpert gets stood up, but he crosses the goal line. Touchdown, Indians. 2-yard QB sneak from Mason Dumpert. And the Indians right back in this one with 7 minutes left.
Carson, remember, we starred the missed extra point here on the last Portsmouth West touchdown, so this becomes a huge PAT. If you're able to convert on this one, you make it 34-28, so if you would come back late to score, you could win it actually with a PAT. So this right here, special teams-wise, really, really important point.
Connor Swope out to kick the extra point. He's missed one earlier, made his most recent one to make it a 6-point game. Good snap. The kick is up, and it barely goes through the uprights. A short, wobbly kick goes through, and the 2-yard run from Mason Dumpert gets it back to a 1-score game with 7:02 remaining. You're watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie & Son Trucking. Willie & Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie & Son Trucking each week at sosaohio.com.
7:02 remaining from the Rock on the banks of the Ohio River as Portsmouth West gives a little bit of ground back to Hillsboro. The 2-yard score from the signal caller, Dumpert, gets it back to a 1-score game. And now if you're Hillsboro, as you were saying, Shane, you get a stop. You got a chance to go down, take the lead back, and potentially win the game.
I like what I saw in the PAT there. I thought he went with a different style. A kick got under, lifted a little bit. He's got enough leg to knock the thing clear over the fence back there by the track. But on the PAT, remember, one was blocked earlier. That time he got a little bit more lift on it.
Swope to boot it away. A short pooch kick near the far sideline. Takes a bounce.
Live ball.
And it's live. It's on the ground. Hillsboro saying they have it. Hillsboro thinks they have it. It was muffed on the return. No signal yet. Hillsboro thinks they have the football.
They tossed theirs in, didn't they?
I think it's Hillsboro football. The offense is back on the field.
Yeah, the Hillsboro tossed their football in play. So, yeah, I mean, you talk about a turn of events here. Right back on the field. All of a sudden now a touchdown extra point. You're back in the lead. Is this any fun?
I believe Adkins was the return man. Let it bounce. Costly mistake from the Senators. Now 1st and 10. Here's Captain. Captain's got a block. Captain through a double team. He splits it. And he gets taken down at the 11 by Austin Ramsey. Shane, I'm almost at a loss of words for what's going on right now.
Well, this is just, I tell you, it kind of fits in with the week. I've had 2 5-set thrillers on the volleyball court. Here we're in for an instant classic on the football field here at the Rock. And, you know, now on the 2nd and 1, it's that 4-down territory where if you're Hillsboro, all you got to do is stay clear of the mistake. Because remember, the fumbles and the penalties of what's killed your drives.
34-28. Here's Corneli on the carry, stopped in the backfield.
Outstanding play. Looked like Carson Carver comes up and makes the stop for no gain. So now it's 3rd and I think it's less than a yard. See if they go to Dumpert there in the middle like they did down on the goal line.
3rd and 1. Dumpert under center. Captain in motion. Dumpert keeps it himself. He's got the 1st down. And taken down around the 7-yard line. Man down for Hillsboro. Bo Roten and Tilton Rapp teaming up for the tackle. And we've got an injury timeout for Hillsboro. We'll take it with him as he gets checked out. You're watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Kimberly. Tons of practice. One chop away from a black belt. 7 of the best sidekicks. And 5 years since her cancer diagnosis at Ohio Health.
It's me, Wednesday Addams. Your life just took a dark turn. I regret to inform you that I have devised the meal of misfortune with Wendy's. It's pure torture for your taste buds, with 4 nightmarish dips of dread. Don't waste my time asking which ones you'll get. You must surrender to your fate. Enjoy the anguish.
Roman Hardy, the left tackle for the Indians, the man shaken up on the play. So he'll head to the sideline and get checked out. 5:41 left. We hope to see him back in this game, but also if you're Hillsboro, want to have him healthy for next week as well. But right now, Hillsboro's got a chance to finish off this week and take the lead back. Here's a handoff to Captain on first down. Captain into the end zone. Touchdown, Indians.
Nothing fancy about that, just right off the left tackle. Give it to Captain. He runs through one tackler right around the 4-yard line and then just walks into the end zone from there. And here's that crucial PAT again. Last time, like I said, it looked to me like he went in with a different approach and lifted it a little bit. He's been solid on the year, so you're confident if you're Hillsboro that if the hold is there, that he'll give you a good kick.
Second rushing touchdown of the night for Trey Captain. The extra point from Swope to give them the lead. The kick is up, away, and it is good. And the Indians retake the lead with 5:37 left in this ball game. 7-yard rush from Trey Captain to tie it, and the PAT from Swope gives them a 1-point lead.
Wow. I tell you, the consistency throughout all sports is mistakes. When you make a mistake, or if you create a mistake, can you capitalize of it, or can you rebound from it? Hillsboro puts the ball on the ground twice in the third quarter. Portsmouth West uses it to build a 2-possession lead. Back comes Hillsboro. They score. Kickoff goes on the ground. It's a live ball. They take it right back, and would you have ever dreamed Hillsboro would be up 35-34? It's 5:37 left in the game.
We've talked about special teams miscues all night, whether it be on extra points, but it's that kickoff return where Braden Adkins lets the ball bounce in front of him, gives Hillsboro's gunners enough time to fly down the field and scoop it up. They get possession back, they score, they take the lead. Swope to kick it away. It's a deep end-over-end kick, and Adkins lets us bounce again. He fields it at the 1. He gets tripped up at the 5. Another miscue on special teams, but a flag is down near midfield.
Oh, did they go early? Wow, that would be huge if they had to kick this thing again. Wow. Because, again, that ball takes a friendly hop up into the air. He had to field it. He couldn't risk letting it bounce a second time because you never know where it's going to go then. Then he loses his footing, goes down. It's going to be at the 5-yard line. Instead, we're going to come back and redo it. Wow, again, just the simplicity of execution, the smallest mistake. Let's see here how much field position it cost them. Carson McLean, or Paint Valley, was up 22-19 at halftime. Now at the end of third quarter, McLean 27, Paint Valley 22. So the Battle of the 41 Cup going to be a exciting fourth quarter there in Bainbridge.
Hillsboro will face McLean Week 10 in FAC Rivalry Week in Greenfield. Swope will boot it away for a second time, this time 5 yards back at the 35. A line drive kick from Swope. This fielded by Barnes at the 25. Barnes taken down at the 40 by Slackhammer. A quick 15-yard return from Micah Barnes sets up the Senators at the 40 with 5.5 to play.
Outstanding play for Barnes. Again, if that ball gets loose, you never know. He not only fields it, he fields it cleanly and brings it all the way back out to the 40. So remember what I said, 35-yard difference on the one simplicity of leaving early.
Senators in excellent field position with 5.5 to go. See how Todd Gilliland and his offense strategize. Hall drives back. It's a screen out to Bishop. He bobbled it, but he corrals it. Bishop makes a man miss. Bishop's got some room past midfield. Taken down at the 45. The elusive speed of Anthony Bishop puts the Senators in plus territory.
Yeah, well set up on the screen. You let the defensive lineman go. You toss it right over them. Once the ball is in Bishop's hands, you let him do his thing.
15 yards on the screen to Bishop. 1st and 10 at the 45. Trips on the far side to the left of Hall. Hall fakes the give. He's going to keep it himself. Hall down the sideline. Hall goes out of bounds past the 35, picks up the first.
Hall been effective with the feet. There's another one there. Shows the inside handoff Ratliff, who's come in because I think Bishop's had a little bit of a cramp problem himself. So Ratliff's given him good production when he's had to play here, and thought that was a nice play from Trey Captain. He read it a little bit late, but he read it just in time to get an angle on Hall to force him out of bounds. I don't know about you, Carson. When he first pulled that ball back and started to go to the corner, I thought he had the sideline. I thought he was going to score.
I thought so too. Trey Captain ran him out of bounds, shaken up a little bit after the play. In comes Mason Dumpert to fill in on the defensive side of the ball. I'll make it 1st and 10 at the 33, 4:54 left to play.
Working on the cramp on Bishop over here on the sideline still, so it's still Ratliff in the backfield with Hall.
1st and 10. Hall fakes the give. Looking downfield, he's got Atkins on the sideline. He overthrew him, incomplete. If he had just put that ball right on the money, I think Atkins would have scored.
Yeah, good ball handling in the backfield. They got the one-on-one coverage they wanted, and just a little strong. Probably needed just a little bit more air under it, but again, it's been a big night for Hall, and that connection with Atkins has been a big reason why. Bishop is back to his feet on the sidelines here. Let's see if he can get back in there at some point.
Now 4:49 to go. Hall looking. He's got Corbin Miller on the outside. Corbin Miller gets about 6 on the reception. That brings up 3rd down.
Yeah, nice job. Again, that underneath route where they just sit down and just little throw and catch has been successful. Now you come up on 3rd and 5. Remember, you've got to continue to make your 1st down. So Hillsboro defense, you're looking at it in a 2-down segment here. Can you get a stop and maybe get the ball back with the lead?
3rd and 5 at the 28. Ratcliffe to the right of Hall. Hall looking. Lobs one up for Adkins, and it's incomplete. 2nd time that Hall has missed a connection with Adkins down the sideline. And that brings up a crucial 4th down if you're Portsmouth West.
2 things I saw there, Carson. One was the good pressure on the outside as Hardy was coming off of that left edge. Maybe forced him to get rid of it a little sooner than he wanted. And I thought the coverage on the back end there, Brown, did a good job of having some leverage and not really letting Hall get into his route.
4 down territory and trailing by 1. The Senators offense stays on the field. 4th and 5 at the 28. Game potentially on the line. Adkins motions over to the left. And we got a timeout, Hillsboro, before the snap.
Well, again, the timeout, now that you're in front, I think it's worth it because you feel like this is a down here. It won't be over because of the timeouts, but this is a situation where you could really, put yourself in a chance to possess the football the rest of the way out. Keep in mind, Carson, on 4th down tonight, Hall with his feet has been really, really good. So you got to be aware of that as well.
And he's shown the ability to break off those big runs twice on a 4th down situation.
And sometimes by design on a couple things. Other times it's just him getting to the edge and then making a play. So let's see if Hillsboro dials up a little bit of a pressure here. They've been a little bit more successful getting to him here in the last probably, say 10 snaps or so.
Quick score update from around the area. 3:47 left in the ball game. Wheelersburg ahead of Jackson 17-7. We'll set up shop again. 4:08 to go. 4th and 5 at the 28. Hall drops back, looking downfield. It's incomplete. Intended for Adkins. He turned the wrong way. And Hillsboro gets a clutch turnover on downs.
Carson, Hillsboro changed it up on him there a little bit. They didn't come at him as hard, right? They kind of stayed back. They really were going to make him stay in the pocket, and it just disrupted a little bit again. Now, 4:04. Let's see if Hillsboro can have ball security and get this run game going and see if they can possess the ball. This is that 4-minute drill that coaches take pride in the 4th quarter when it comes winning time.
You got to think Hillsboro's wanting to kill as much time as possible. Got to possess the football. 1st and 10 at the 28. They hand it off Swackhammer. Flag down in the backfield after Swackhammer picks up about 7 on the carry.
Well, and the penalty does two things. It puts you in bad yardage, but then it also stops the clock.
There are two things that you can't afford this late in the game with a 1-point lead. Going to be a holding on the Indians.
Coaching staff continues to show a lot of faith in Swackhammer with the 2 fumbles tonight, with the game on the line going back to him there. He had delivered an 8-yard run for you, but unfortunately now it's going to go all the way back. So, again, penalty. Instead of second and 2 or 3, now you're all the way back to first and forever.
That'll back them up to the 18, 1st and 20.
And because of the penalty, clock won't start until the snap, so you also cost yourself about 40 seconds.
3:59 remaining. Dumpert keeps it. Dumpert gets it out.
He's
it's
gone.
Hochstuhl. Hochstuhl gets to the outside. He's got one blocker, one man to beat. Hochstuhl down the sideline. He will score. Touchdown Indians.
Wow.
82 yards. Jevin Hochstuhl through the heart of the rock.
Outstanding down, and now you've got a flag comes in late here. We'll see what was said or what was done. It'll be after the play. But again, where this could be huge, Carson, is you got a one-possession football game here. The extra point will push it to 8, and who knows if this is on Hillsboro, what this is going to do to the distance of it.
That's the thing about scoring late is, yes, it gives you a more comfortable lead, but now Portsmouth West going to get the ball back with plenty of time.
That was without question after the ball entered the end zone. That has to be more of a dead ball, doesn't it?
I would think so. The signal is that the touchdown stands. It's unsportsmanlike conduct on Hillsboro.
Yeah, again, you just have to compose yourself. It's winning time here, and now you're in a position where you want to have this because it gives you the 8-point cushion, which forces touchdown 2-point conversion just to get it into overtime. Luckily for Hillsboro, they do have a kicker that has plenty of leg here, but it's just, again, it can't happen.
They're going to enforce the penalty on the PAT. This is huge because given the miscues that Hillsboro's had on extra points throughout the night, this isn't a cheap shot for Connor Swope and the Indians.
Yeah, now, and all the preparation for the game this way, the distance isn't a problem at all. It still comes down to snap and hold, and the distance should not be a factor. This young man's got an outstanding leg.
It's about a 35-yard extra point attempt. High snap, line drive kick, and it is good. Swope drills the PAT after the penalty sets him back. 42-34 Hillsboro. An 82-yard touchdown run from Jevin Hochstuhl cushions this lead with 3:45 left. You're watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
At North Fork Animal Clinic, we're more than your pet's health care. We're your neighbors. We combine top-quality veterinary care with the availability you can count on, keeping tails wagging and pets thriving. And as proud supporters of youth sports in Southern Ohio, we're committed to helping our whole community grow strong. North Fork Animal Clinic, caring for pets, supporting our community.
3:45 remaining here at Portsmouth West. 82-yard touchdown run from Jevin Hochstuhl. Pushes the lead to 8. And talk about ice in your veins. The extra point pushed back about 10 yards, and Connor Swope nails it.
Well, now the kickoff's huge, too. This is where his leg comes into play again. Remember, they left early last time.
Swope, line drive, squib kick, scooped up by Bishop near the 10. And Bishop's got some room to run. Bishop trying to break a tackle, and he gets taken down before he gets to the 30. Corneli and Swackhammer teaming up.
Try to keep an eye on Bishop here. He's really been fighting A little bit of a lower leg, looks like a cramp situation there. I was surprised Hillsboro kicked him the football. Nonetheless, they got him to the ground at the 28, so at the 3:39 mark, and here it is. I mean, they've been able to throw the football. I mean, it's still plenty of time.
Now a do-or-die drive for the Portsmouth West Senators. 1st and 10. Hall surveying. Got Bishop over the middle, complete. Anthony Bishop in the open field. Across the 50, taken down by Brown at the 46.
Right around 25 yards, and again, that seam route for Bishop, they've had no answer for it, and that's a good open field tackle. I believe that was Brown that got him to the ground there at the 46, or that could have went the distance.
Anthony Bishop gets open down the seam. He's been very effective in the passing game tonight. 1st and 10. Hall going downfield for Adkins. It's incomplete, and there's a flag for pass interference.
Again, on the pass interference, comes from a weird angle and a little bit late. Hillsboro sideline doesn't like it. They felt like the one official was right there watching the contact, but nonetheless, it's going to go in the favor of West.
It's interesting, though, you mentioned, Shane, the official on our sideline was the one who threw the flag. I think that's what you said Hillsboro has a problem with.
It's one of the hardest things to officiate in all football at all levels, because basically what happens, the defender had pretty good position and the wide receiver kind of ran late, made the contact. It was kind of a high football IQ play just to see if you could draw the flag, and they certainly did.
That'll put the ball at the 31-yard line, 3:12 remaining in the ball game.
Time should not be a factor on this particular drive, so if you're West, everything is still on the table, including your run game.
High snap. Hall surveys, got Adkins down the middle, incomplete over his head.
Good coverage from Brown there on the little slant action there. 37th pass of the evening for Hall.
You know, Adkins has been a guy that Hall's had a really good connection with. We saw that a lot in the first half. They've been trying to get back to that connection here late in the game. It hasn't worked out the same way.
See if they can bring some pressure here. I know Hall's feet scared him there a little bit. They actually backed off on that 1 4th down earlier. Let's see if they dial up a little bit of pressure. There's a Hardy jumped early, saying he's drawn off. I don't know if they're going to agree with him or not. It's always everybody pointed at everybody. It was you, it was you, it was you.
A false start on the Senators. I believe the left tackle, Leif Potters, was the man who moved. And you saw it, I don't know if you saw this, but I did, the center, Max Newsom, letting him know, hey, we can't have that happen this late in the game in this situation.
Well, there's no question. You just can't afford to give up the yards, because keep in mind, you not only have to get in the end zone, as you're doing that, you got to be able to move the chains, and now you put yourself in a 2nd and 15.
2nd and 15 from the 41. Hall downfield, complete to Adkins. Adkins taken down shy of the marker. Pottinger and Brown in coverage to bring him down. That'll make it 3rd and about 3.
Yeah, get a lot of that back there, and you put yourself in a 3rd and 3. So you obviously would love a touchdown if a play presents itself, but what you really want to focus on here is on this 3rd and 3, almost 4, is the first down yardage.
They hand it off to Bishop. Bishop fighting forward. It's going to be close. Hillsboro stuffs him, and I don't think he got there.
Yeah, the officials walking in a good yard, maybe yard and a half short. And here we go. This is pretty much the ball game, isn't it?
I would say so, Shane. 4th, and it looks like 2. Here we go, 4th and 2 with the game on the line. I formation. Hall bobbles the snap, hands it off to Bishop, and Bishop picks up the first down. Puts the Senators in the red zone, and still some life, just over 2 minutes to go.
Outstanding job, offensive line. Max Newsom there at center, leading the middle of that offensive line. They just get it right in behind him, run off of Carver and Newsom, and move the chains. So now Still don't think clock's a huge factor at 1:51 now that you're into the red zone. It's more about your down and distance.
1st and 10 at the 19. Hall in the shotgun. Hall looking downfield, going for Adkins in the end zone. It's incomplete. Brown on the coverage once again, forcing the incompletion. You know, every time that Hall has tried to hit Adkins for a score, it's been Zach Brown in coverage.
That's been a fun matchup to watch there. And again, I thought that was outstanding coverage. He had some, he was beat for a second, little makeup speed, gets his eyes back on the ball, and then throws the arm in there to try to break it up. Pretty well done.
Todd Gilliland wants a timeout. Second of the half with 1:39 to go with the clock already stopped. Feel like, Shane, it's just to draw something up here on second down.
But you would definitely want to be on the same page. Remember, you had the false start penalty a second ago. So here you just want to be on the same page. You're going to give Hall an opportunity to probably throw it. Keep in mind, on second down, you have 3 down still. You don't have to rule out a Bishop run to the edge or something like that. Also pay attention to Bishop there in the seam. They haven't had an answer for him in terms of being a wide receiver tonight out of the backfield.
This has been textbook back and forth football. Hillsboro led 14-0 and 21-7 in the first half. West rounds off 27 unanswered points to go up 34-21. And then now Hillsboro 21 unanswered points of their own with an 8-point lead. And the Senators threatening to tie it late. 2nd and 10 at the 19. 2 wide on each side of Brody Hall. High snap, second down. Hall looking, he's got Bishop. Bishop breaks free from contact, flag down.
That's in a weird spot there. I mean, that could be a defensive holding. You also could have, I guess, I mean, depending on some combination route, if there was some contact.
Well, defensive holding, Shane. I'll decline the penalty, gives Portsmouth West a first down. Ball at the 7-yard line. Senators knocking on the door.
2 things going on here, too. Obviously, you got to stay in the present and get your team into the end zone. Both offense and defense got to be thinking ahead to a 2-point conversion play if needed. Obviously, this becomes the most important thing first, but that is in the back of your mind in terms of what you would dial up.
Minute 20 remaining, 1st and goal at the 7. Trips to the near side. Hall takes the snap, looking to his right, flushed. He's under pressure. Hall finds Adkins. It's through his hands, incomplete. Looked like he was going to throw it away. Adkins right there, just couldn't haul it in.
Great job by Hardy to pressure and get him out of the pocket. And then good discipline from Hillsboro to let up and not hit the quarterback after the throw. So, again, second down. If you're West, plenty of time. You have 3 plays to get it in the end zone.
It's been a roller coaster of a game on each side. West trying to even things up. 66 seconds remaining, 2nd and goal. Hall rolling. Hall is going to do it himself. Hall breaks a tackle. Hall into the end zone. Touchdown, Senators. Flag down in the backfield.
Coming
Holding
back
on the Senators.
What a big-time effort from the quarterback, too. He runs through a tackle and gets in the end zone. But, again, that flag came out right away. Official was pretty confident. So he's dropping the flag at the 11, Carson. So now it's going to come all the way back, replay second down. We're probably going to be back to about the 21. 2nd and goal from the 21 now. I love the design. They brought Bishop out there to draw some attention, and it was pretty much design quarterback keeper all the way on the sweep.
58.4 remaining.
Ball now on the right hash. Let's see if they take something to the left side.
2nd and goal at the 17. Bishop to the left of Hall in the backfield. Timeout, Hillsboro.
Again, wanted to see the formation there. Bishop lined up in the backfield with him. You've got to be aware of him on where he lines up because, again, that seam route has been something Hillsboro's had absolutely no answer for.
Now 2nd and long. You're backed up to the 17, only one timeout remaining. What do you think you're drawing up here if you're West?
Well, I mean, you've had some success with the passing game. I love the option of getting Hall out of the pocket just a little bit on a rollout because then I think his feet become dual threat. So you obviously – you can look at your matchups. You've had some matchups with Hall that you like. You've had some matchups with Bishop that you've liked. But, again, don't rule out Hall's ability to extend the play. You actually ended up seeing it right there. It just comes back because of the hold. And how big is that 35-yard extra point right here is you're looking at an 8-point game instead of a 7-point game.
Senators will reset. Hall in the gun, Bishop to his right. 2 receivers on the far side. Hall takes the snap. Looking downfield, he's under pressure. Hall's going to do it with his legs. He gets taken down after a short positive game. Jack Corneli, the one to bring him down. Timeout, Portsmouth West. And the Senators now out of timeouts with 51.1 remaining.
It looked like to me they were spying him all the way. They didn't really bring pressure. They just rushed their front. Looked to me like the linebackers were dropping just a little bit, and they had their eyes on Hall all the way. Once he tucked it under, they were able to fly to the football. And with that being the last time out, I still think you're not in jeopardy of getting your 2 more snaps. But if you don't get in here and the ball is still live, it does rush you to the line of scrimmage a little bit. So you better be organized on what you're doing, not only on 3rd down here, but if you don't get in and it is a live ball situation, you already want to call the 4th down play now to get everybody on the same page.
And I think if you're Hillsboro, you have 2 things to keep in mind. Keep the ball in front, keep them in bounds.
That's a great point, and you got to stay aggressive because, you know, a pass interference it wouldn't be ideal, but it's certainly better than letting someone get behind you into the end zone.
3rd and goal at the 16. 2 receivers on each side of Hall. Hall looking downfield, got Bishop over the middle, incomplete. Corneli on the coverage alongside Landon Holland. And with 46.1 remaining, it's 4th and goal. This is the ball game.
Good adjustment there from Hillsboro. That's where he had been coming to see him. That time they had to curl it into the middle, almost like a little slant. And Hillsboro was right there waiting on him. He tried to make the one-hand grab out in front, couldn't do it. Now 4th and 16, got to take a shot to the end zone, or Hall maybe being able to keep a play alive.
And timeout Hillsboro just to make sure the defense is on the same page. What an exciting game it's been, Shane, and it all comes down to this one final play.
Just an unbelievable week on Sosa. I've said it a couple times tonight, the 2 5-set volleyball matches. Now you and I get this instant classic. What a fun week of high school sports. Carson, it looked to me on that formation where it could have a little clear-out route where they're going to have Hall maybe on a little go route down the right side with Bishop into the seam is what it looked like to me on that formation. Now, as the timeout happens, let's see if they come out and switch that up on one another. This is that chess match that happens, offensive coordinator versus defensive coordinator. This is why all the film study is so important for this type of situation right here.
Hillsboro has not started the season 3-0 since 2018, the year they split the FAC title with Jackson. Went 9-1 in the regular season. Off to a great start tonight, and they're 1 play away from 3-0. 4th down, Hall under pressure. Hall's got some room. He's still looking. Hall fires, it's picked off. Jevin Hochstuhl, he's going to try and take it back. The dagger, Jevin Hochstuhl. Pick 6. Ball game. Jevin Hochstuhl with the silencer here at the Rock.
Unbelievable finish here. Give Hall all kinds of credit. He competed all night long. What happened to him there is he had his receivers out to the right side. It wasn't there. As he tried to leave the pocket to the left side, he just didn't have a whole lot of options. He knew he couldn't cross the line of scrimmage because he was too far out to get all the way in the end zone. He tried his best to make a play. steps in. Hochtel makes an incredible interception and goes all the way back. What a football game.
Jevin Hochstel had the 82-yard touchdown run to give Hillsboro an 8-point lead, and he puts the bow on top with the pick six with 25 seconds left. Swope out for the extra point. High snap, kick is away and good. 49-34 Hillsboro Indians. They're 25 seconds away from a 3-0 start. Ice in the veins of Jevin Hochstel. The pick six to silence this crowd puts the game on ice.
Yeah, just an incredible finish. And what about the momentum swings tonight? You know, Hillsboro jumps out 14-0. They were up 21-7. Then West comes all the way back. They take a 34-21 advantage with 2:36 to go in the third quarter. And now here we are at 49-34. It's just been incredible, back and forth. Wow, I just that's the only thing I can really say. Two good football teams that have competed really hard here this evening.
Head coach Nathan Horn is born and raised Hillsboro. Was an assistant under his father Jim Horn, who won 100 games in 15 seasons. He took over as head coach in 2022, and in his fourth season at the helm of the Indians, he's got the team on their way to their best start in 7 years. Swope boots it away. It'll bounce past the return man Ratcliffe out of bounds. And that'll put West back at the 35-yard line.
Bring it all the way out to the 35, and if you're West, you keep playing here. You go ahead and take a shot. Just an incredible crowd here tonight. It just kind of busted the balloon, so to speak, right? Just took the entire air out of the stadium. Obviously, the other sideline on the far side, plenty to cheer about.
The tomahawk chop has been played countless times throughout the night. And it looks like they're going to make Hillsboro retry the kick. Just going to back them up 5 yards.
Well, I think the idea here is if you could give one of your athletes a chance, this is probably a better chance for a big play than trying to run a scrimmage play, in my opinion. I think that's the thinking here.
Final score in our area, Wheelersburg on top of Jackson, 17-7. Pirates are 3-0 this season. And Hillsboro also on its way to 3-0. Swope to boot it away again. Squib kick on the ground. Barnes watches it go by. It's fielded by Bishop. Bishop trying to get around traffic. Bishop gets to the sideline and out of bounds. Flag on the near sideline just as the play came to an end.
Swope's been quite a weapon for Hillsboro tonight, and I think that's something to keep an eye on throughout the year because, you know, when you get in these close one-possession games, and I know this game may end up 2 possessions, but let's not kid ourselves. It was a tight game all the way down to that last play. He's going to be a big factor. I mean, his 35-yard extra point could have been a huge factor.
Yeah, don't let that play go unnoticed, too, because that kick went from a 7-point game to where if West would have scored, we'd be talking about a tied game, to if they had scored, they still would have had to go for 2 to tie it.
That's right.
Less than 20 seconds to go. Officials conversing with the West sideline. There's a penalty at the end of the kickoff.
Carson, I don't want to put bitterness to your evening, but I think the Reds had the bases loaded, nobody out in the 9th inning, down 5-4 against the Mets, and Marte and De La Cruz struck out. And then Lux grounded out to lose the game.
Shane, I know you're a baseball guy, but football season's in full swing here in Ohio.
So you're telling me to let it go?
The NFL starts on Sunday. Well, it's actually already started. Here's Hall to throw once more. It's incomplete. Corbin Miller. You know, I don't have to pay attention to baseball again until March.
Fair enough. Unofficially, of course, that was his 43rd throw of the night.
You know, as crushing as the end of that, the end of the last possession was, got to be really encouraged by the play of Brody Hall tonight. Left it all out there with his arm and his legs. But Jevin Hoxtell, the man of the hour for Hillsboro, 2 huge, huge plays late. And Hillsboro 14 seconds away from a win. Hall fires out to Schonkweiler on the far sideline. Schonkweiler thought about pitching it. He breaks a tackle and gets taken down out of bounds at the 46. 5.1 remaining.
Circleville Westfall in overtime. Looks like Circleville scored, got the extra point, 42-35. Now Westfall will get their turn to try to tie it or maybe even win it if they wanted to go for 2.
And what's in the water in Southeast Ohio tonight, Shane?
No doubt. And then let's see here. Game over. Westfall did not score. So Circleville 42, Westfall 35.
5.1 seconds left. This will more than likely be the final play of the ball game. Hall swings it out. It's Evans. Hook and ladder attempt to Bishop is on the ground, and the fumble's recovered by Roman Hardy as time expires. The Hillsboro Indians remain unbeaten here at the Rock. 49-34 your final score as the Indians fight back after being down 2 scores. And Nathan Horn and his team are 3-0 for the first time since 2018.
The outstanding effort on both sides. Both teams show some resiliency to come back. And then both teams kind of withstand a punch. And then it was Hillsboro that responded last to go up 8. And then on the 4th down play, Hall doing all he could do. And then you get the big-time play there from Hoxtell, and he takes it back to the house to put things away.
Once again, 49-34 in favor of the Hillsboro Indians, your final score from Portsmouth West. We'll step aside very briefly and give our final thoughts on this one. When we come back from the Rock, you're watching Ohio High School Football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Kimberly. Tons of practice. 1 chop away from a black belt. 7 of the best sidekicks. And 5 years since her cancer diagnosis at Ohio Health.
Glo Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real, reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glo Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glo Fiber is here. Welcome to Glo-Hio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLO or visit glofiber.com to switch today.
At North Fork Animal Clinic, we're more than your pet's health care. We're your neighbors. We combine top-quality veterinary care with the availability you can count on, keeping tails wagging and pets thriving. And as proud supporters of youth sports in Southern Ohio, we're committed to helping our whole community grow strong. North Fork Animal Clinic, caring for pets, supporting our community.
Your final score once again from Portsmouth West, the Hillsboro Indians fight their way to a 49-34 victory over the Portsmouth West Senators. And through the first 3 games of the season, Hillsboro remains unbeaten. Portsmouth West falling to 1-2, their second consecutive loss in this early season. Carson Francis, Shane Combs with you again. Shane, overall, your final thoughts on a very entertaining matchup tonight?
Well, let's just go all the way back to the beginning and put it in order. First of all, an incredible atmosphere. It's why we always love coming down here. So you could feel the energy in the place. You knew it was going to be a great game. Hillsboro comes out. They win special teams early. They win battle of field position early. Captain shows off his skill set with the punt return, and then and all of a sudden you're like, oh wow, is Hillsboro going to just run them off their home field? Portsmouth West wasn't having any of that, so they come back. So impressed coming in. We thought it was going to be ground and pound all night, right? Well, West just opens the entire playbook up. They throw it 44 times. Now, I'll grant you, down the stretch, probably another 6, 7, 8 of those passes were score-based at the end, right? But I mean, I had Brody Hall, completely unofficial, right up around 26 of 44, give or take some, and he was pushing 200 and probably 40 to 50 yards. And then he also rushed for up over 90 yards if you take away the sack stuff. And keep in mind, that would have been an incredible touchdown run that was called back that would have had us staring a 2-point conversion. But on the other side, not to be outdone, I thought the competitive juice of Mason Dumpert was really big in those drives. And then, Carson, I think it'd be unfair not to really highlight the kicking of Cooper Swope. I mean, he had the extra points, but he also had the kickoffs. He had some of the balls that went down there deep. And I think we would all agree, after the 2 fumbles from Hillsboro that allowed Portsmouth West to go out in front by 2 scores, don't you feel like if it's hard in that crazy of a game to pick one play, but if you had to, for me, it would have been the kickoff that Portsmouth West was unable to field, because even after Dumpert got the ball in the end zone there, or Captain, then they followed up with Captain after that particular thing to take the lead.
Yeah, Shane, going forward for Hillsboro, this is a confidence booster, to say the least. Already 2-0, but now you face a little bit of adversity. You fight back. You see the results play out in your favor. This is going to be a huge boost for this Indians team, who's riding a lot of momentum.
I agree. I think 4-1, 5-0 type of start certainly becomes a real on the table now. And then you would open FAC play. And I understand you have Jackson and Miami Trace, but wouldn't it be great for your program if all of a sudden you entered that at 5-0? You'd have a great opportunity to still win 7-8 games and be a factor in the playoffs. So I agree. What a big win. And this Portsmouth West team, look, they're going to be really good. They found some things tonight in their passing game. I think they're going to be able to mix that with the run game. I saw something in Weston Ratcliffe, I should say, the freshman. I think he could be a nice complementary back to Bishop a little bit. So I think West found some things tonight that they can hang their hat on moving forward.
Yeah, West traveling to Chillicothe next week. We talked about the Cavaliers a little bit. They're going to have their work cut out for them, no doubt, but this is a team that can compete, can go toe-to-toe with anybody, and they got to keep that mindset going into Chillicothe next week.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's hard to lose these types of games. You just got to get back to the film room and get after it, and a lot of football ahead of you with the expansion of the playoffs there a couple of years back. There's plenty of opportunity. West obviously plays the type of schedule where they're going to have all kinds of opportunities to collect big wins, and they just have to put this one behind them, learn from it, and move on.
Before we sign off for the night, we want to give a couple shout-outs to our sponsors. Obviously, Ohio Health makes everything we do here at SOSA possible. We wouldn't be here without the help of Ohio Health, and also our sponsors in Glockner Family of Dealerships, Glow Fiber, Tomlinson Insurance, Willie & Son Trucking, Chillicothe Comfort, Rathkamp Financial, North Fork Animal Clinic, Schmidt Family Restaurant Group, Chillicothe Truck, and Hometown Motors. We also want to thank West Athletic Director and Head Coach Todd Gilliland for helping us get set up here. Great hospitality. We always love coming down to the Rock for football games, and Todd Gilliland does a great job as an athletic director getting everybody set up down here as well.
Yeah, really exciting. Again, make sure you tune in to Overtime this week because I'm going to encourage John to add on the agenda. I'd love to hear his take too, because he's been to so many different places over the last 5-10 years. And I'd love to talk about some of the favorite places I've been, and this would certainly rank right up there on the Football Friday night.
One final time from us here at Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health. From Kenneth Hay and Shane Combs, I am Carson Francis. We thank you for tuning in to tonight's presentation of Ohio High School football. The Hillsboro Indians are 3-0 after they knock off Portsmouth West. 49-34 your final score from the Rock. Enjoy your evening, everybody.